Hey guys, this is Moon Magic Game Gurus, and we're at number 67.
Ooh.
And as always, I'm joined by someone who does not need to be introduced. My partner in crime, the sketchy one, Tash.
Hey everybody. Hey, Malcolm.
Hey. So the question is, how are you?
It's been a rough week. Again, I think the changing weather doesn't help. You know, when it changes your mood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been fluctuating so much. We've had like chilly nights, and the last few days have been actually really like hot. But say like this morning, it was quite really cloudy. I thought it was going to tip down. So you know, when the atmosphere quite oppressive kind of thing. But the rest of the day, it's been absolutely gorgeous. So I think that kind of changes mood. And but I got some editing done this week, so that was nice because, you know, it's nice when you feel like you're being productive, even though it happens at a time. I think it's because of my past and that. I feel like I tend to be more productive when I'm feeling really down sometimes, or frustrated, if you know what I mean. So I get working on this. So I was working on my Uncharted 4 first impressions finally. It was recorded on the day of release, but because I got so engrossed in the game, I just couldn't be. I was too focused on doing the game instead of editing, if you know what I mean. So, and then when you know, it's like when you don't have like 4 hours of footage to sift through to pick out the best bits to make into a reasonable length video, it was just like, oh.
Driving two different videos, which are both recorded at the same time, with two different voices on, and connecting them together like the GTA ones. That's difficult, especially when you sit there having to move it that tiny bit every time just to get that little tiny bit to get it so it matches.
Well, that's what I have to do as well with the first impressions, because I have my voice recorded on the footage via the PlayStation, you know, when you save it as the file. But of course, I also have my voice on the video camera. So I have to sync them up so that, like, the voice isn't separate to the video footage of me. I guess when I finally get a PlayStation camera, I'll be able to record the both. But as it is, it's just the way I have to do it at the moment. It's just, like you say, it's so much syncing where you're like, that's still not quite right. Another like 100th of a second, you know, clip and stuff.
So it's such an annoying thing to do, because you just have to have it so at the right point, and if it isn't, you're just like, this is off, and people are going to notice it's off. And then, because there's videos I've done, like the ones I did with a GTA ones, which I need to get back to. It took me like 2-3 days to do one of them sometimes, just because I'd do it for hours and just be like, this is really annoying me, because there'd be like hello, and then it'd be like the delay was like, oh, hello, you know, and it was like, and it would be like hello straight next to each other. Like, oh.
You
know,
well, especially because
that was done.
I was just gonna say, especially like with the video footage, because obviously, say the PlayStation footage, you can only record 15-minute chunks. So then there's a gap between when it starts recording again. So there's that time on my video camcorder footage of me sat there still, you know, waiting for it to restart and everything. And also, my camcorder has a thing where it saves the files. Like, I don't know how often it is, but it gets to a certain size file and then it'll change files, kind of thing. So when there's just this footage of me, I should really do it so it does the sound of the TV via both the headphones and the TV speakers, kind of thing, because there's all this footage of me just sat there with the headphones on, complete silence, and then waiting for me to talk. So it's like trying to line it up is so much more difficult, because you know, like you say, when you've got two lots of footage, you're trying to find the right part for it to start, because obviously where we saved is not always the same part, you know, like where it starts, kind of thing, on the GTA videos. So it was just but I found once I started, I just found myself, you know, I'd walk away for a bit because I was like, that's enough. And I actually watched a lot of TV this weekend, you know, like catching up on a lot of stuff like 12 Monkeys and other stuff. So it was nice to finally catch up on those. But yeah, no, it was just I found myself keep going, I'm gonna go get back to finishing that, kind of thing. But the problem is this version, the new version of my editor, it doesn't produce videos. The best quality file it does is MP4, which is not the same same file type that was recording for HD that I've been uploading to YouTube before. So I'm like trying to do it on this a different, do it on a bigger ratio, a bigger file size kind of thing on the MP4 format, but it takes so long to render. So it was my fault. I should have done test versions, which is what I would normally do, like the lower quality version just to check everything's running. But no, I didn't do that. And it takes 9 hours for it to render. And I checked the file, watch it through, only to find there was a couple of problems with it. So then I have to re-edit it and then re-render it, and I didn't learn. And I think the final one that's just been uploaded was like the 4th version. So
I remember when I was in the other ones, they were so short. So like some were like 5 minutes, some were like 10 minutes, some were like 15. And because I used to use the same program, thanks to you.
Yeah.
And I used to do them in 1080, I used to do them in 2K, and I'd look at them because there would be a slight difference.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
And I would watch them, and they look so much more beautiful than they do on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they compress it slightly on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I hate it when you go on YouTube and they're like, I mean, I remember when I used to produce on the older versions of the editor, the best quality it did, I think, was like MPEG 2, which was supposedly like the best. But then you'd upload it to YouTube and they'd be like, this isn't HD, why don't you, the original file? I was like, but this is the original file. This is the best quality it does, kind of thing. So
it is strange when you edit and you take hours, and then like there were some things that I would try and upload on YouTube years ago, and I won't be able to because it wasn't compatible. It wasn't a compatible file type, and that always did my head in. It was always
I hated that. Yeah,
because I used to years ago before the WWE Network and everything, I used to upload my wrestling ones.
Yeah.
These come up in matches and fit, and you'd get thousands of views on them. And back then, if they'd have had the partnership thing, for everybody, I probably would have made a lot of money off that. I ended up closing it down because I had like 2 strikes. I was like, I felt it was going to happen anyway, so I shut it down.
Yeah.
I remember because my screen name actually was 25 years of wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I really liked it. I had an icon picture of Ric Flair.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was one of those things I did ages ago, and I had like 4,000 subscribers at that point. I should have just deleted it all, just did random videos and got loads and loads of views, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Would you go back to doing those videos kind of thing, or do you think it's...
Oh, it's a question for you. Hi, Tash and Malcolm. How are you both? Tash and Malcolm, if you both could bring back any show, what one and why?
God.
It's a hard question.
It's a difficult question because we're so, we've got all these shows coming back at the moment and essentially ruining our nostalgia. I don't know if it would work so well now.
Well, for me, one of the shows that I would love to bring back, but I think it'd be dated as hell now, is When the World Is Coming San Diego.
Oh, yeah. That'll be good.
I loved that show as a kid. I've got it on DVD. And
really?
It's one of those shows that I absolutely loved as a kid. When I was off school, I'd be watching it. And I'd always sing the song. And to this day, whenever I have it, I still sing it. But then that's a cartoon show.
Yeah.
It dates, but at the same time, it doesn't date depending on who you are, But an actual show?
See, I'd love it if they brought back Nightmare. And I know they've made a couple of attempts to bring it back, but that would be quite cool. Like an adult version or something of it. Well, but especially with virtual reality becoming so big now.
I think the problem with Nightmare, again, is they'd have to update it, really. And the point with updating is it won't be Nightmare anymore because it'd be too different.
It would be exactly. No, exactly, and I completely agree. It's
when you think if that, what was I saying? When you think when that originally came out, but that was such a big thing because it was so different, and it had people hot because they were like, "What's going to happen?" And it was so amazing. Even now, because I've got them all on hard drive, all these.
Yeah.
I watch them sometimes, and I'm like, "Shit! I wonder what happened if they actually got right to the end."
Yeah.
You know? It's a very amazing show, but I think again it would be one of those that would be ruined if it was updated now.
Would you bring back something like The Sopranos or something? Or?
I would like.
Or do you think that had its time?
I would like to see a spin-off of The Sopranos before Tony Soprano was the lead of The Sopranos, like when he was in college and stuff. I'd like to have seen that, but I think that has had its time as well. You know, it's such a hard question because we've seen a lot of shows come back, like X-Files.
Twin Peaks is coming back.
MacGyver's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, what the bloody hell with MacGyver? You know? Seriously, that was very much a product of its time.
You know, I mean, MacGyver is one of those shows I would love to watch because I've never really watched it. But again, we're looking at it then, I can't see it working now.
I mean, I would love, upon love, Firefly to come back. But then at the same time, I feel like it's so treasured for what it is, you know, because of that it was so badly cancelled and the way it was handled. And because Serenity was a good film, you know, like to kind of cap off the, you know, and so many characters died in that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it, unless it was like, say, the comics where it was between Serenity and the series. I don't feel like it would. I feel like I should just treasure it for the bubble that it's in, if you know what I mean. I feel like if they come back, you know, because as well they're all older and stuff, it's like I feel like it would ruin it. But I would give anything for a Fly series. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe I should just stick with what I'm, much like I was feeling after X-Files season 10. You know, it's like, maybe I should have stuck with what I had. You know?
Well, it's like I wish they'd have done Smallville and turned it into Metropolis and had like more series. But then I think it ended in such a bad way that it shouldn't have had any more anyway.
No, it went so downhill that last season too.
And when I do think about Smallville, I look back on it, I think the last 2 seasons were actually quite bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, what other shows is there? See, the shows like Get Smart now, which I'm not saying I would want to bring back because obviously, you know, it's dead, you know, Don Adams. Yeah. But shows like that work because of the time.
Yeah.
You know, like Friends. I watched an episode of Friends last night while I was in bed. And it's so dated now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people can go, oh, it's great sitcom all the time and all this. And I really like it and I still do. But it's very dated. The humor's very dated. That's why I don't like Big Bang Theory, because to me it's very dated.
Exactly.
So, I mean, is there a show that you'd bring back while I'm thinking of some more?
No, I mean, that's the thing. Like you say, there's so many. I mean, I guess you could say that the one spin-off that has really worked was, say, like the reboot of Hawaii Five-0. I'm not the biggest fan of it just because I haven't sat down to watch it, but I've watched a couple of episodes and I've actually enjoyed them. Now, obviously, that's a completely different cast than that, but they've taken the concept and done quite a good job with it, kind of thing. So I guess that should give me hope for doing something like an older show, you know, like, say, The Munsters or, you know, but, I found something out recently. I was going to ask if you knew, because it was probably something you knew about. Did you know that the only reason why the original Batman got cancelled was because that they couldn't do any more was because the sets got burnt down?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently the people that had it, be it NBC, ABC, whoever it was, they weren't interested in renewing it because of the cost and stuff. But say ABC were the ones who they wanted it, so they were prepared to take it on. But they said their only interest, they would only take it on if all the sets and stuff came with the franchise kind of thing. Except it turned out that NBC had like a blowout, much like say the BBC when they burnt all their old tapes and stuff like that. It turned out NBC had got, in that hiatus, they'd kind of burnt down the sets and everything. And ABC turned around and went, yeah, no, we're not interested then. And that's why it never continued.
Wow, that's crazy. I never knew that.
I never knew that before. So
it's funny because
kind of sad.
When you think now, the sets get kept for years and years and years.
Yeah, and reused for other stuff.
And you look at it, it's like a good example was today. I watched Missing in Action, the first one.
Yeah.
And it had the same soundtrack as American Ninja 1. Right?
Nice.
So there was moments in it where you hear the music, I'm like, that's in American Ninja, right? And I never realised it before until today. But it just shows you how much you know certain films when you get that in your mind straight away.
Yeah, when you
what's this? Cool t-shirts. Guys, and have you watched any slasher yet, dude?
I'm aiming to be shiny. Saying about Firefly.
Mine's this one.
Yours is your classic splatter, the one that's on your banner.
The one,
you cannot believe how long I spent looking up, like trying to get that font and stuff. Funny.
I tell you that banner, you did really well on that, and I really appreciate that. It really, it's amazing.
I need to do a new one, because of the change in
sure.
more gaming and stuff like that. But
when you get the chance,
When I get the chance, yeah.
Well, it's amazing either way, Damon one would be pretty cool though.
Yeah.
What's this? Have you watched any slasher yet, dude? No, I haven't. Because Ashley recommended slasher in the first place.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I've got downloads of it. But I saw it's coming out on Blu-ray in July, and the problem is I'd rather watch it on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really silly, but I'd rather watch the Blu-ray because the Blu-ray cover looks nice. Let me see if I can show it. What I think about.
The other thing I did this weekend, this will make you laugh. I did a test run, recording me singing the Pokemon song. Nice. Funny to listen back. It was just so weird.
Was it out of key?
No, actually, I was really surprised. I was actually really, not to blow me on trumpet, but I was kind of surprised. So I was just practicing it, before, because what I'll probably do is record the audio separate, so it's a decent quality kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then lip sync it or sing it, on the video, but then add on the top, over top kind of things. I don't know. We'll see. Because obviously I'm going to need to send you a version with the two audio separate anyway, so you can mix them or what, with your own kind of thing. So,
yeah. That's a good point, actually.
I was like, oh no, that won't work if it's on the video kind of thing. So I may do that. But yeah, no, I was just doing it was just so funny to do it and play it back and listen to it because it's not the kind of thing I would normally do. So
let's show that cover quickly on.
Yeah.
It's just going.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, isn't it? It's nice. Yeah. It's Screen Factory releasing it as well.
Oh, cool.
I like it, so I'm tempted to just wait for the Blu-ray to come out.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be really good to see.
Oh, cool.
Plus,
yeah, sorry.
Plus, I think I might end up keeping it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even when you move, kind of thing.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if it's not released in England, I probably will because I like things like that. But I've got to do mine. I've got to do my Pokemon one as well. But it's going to be really. I want to try and get where I have I've done a photo Pikachu at me and stuff.
Yeah.
When I'm doing it.
Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do stuff like that, but I was trying to figure out what I want to do. Messing around with the stuff. So, because I did watch back the actual theme on YouTube. To get the feel for what I could take the Mickey out of. Because
just get Mulder to jump on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I'm gonna do is if you get done throw Pikachu at me and me kind of fall over, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or how he jumps in his arms.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do the thing like how you were gonna do with the cap.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. It's gonna be good. I need to get into the space of recording it and Get it where,
yeah.
you know, like how you probably are yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I want to do it, but I'm just not in that space at the moment because like you say, when you're thinking, right, I need to video this, I need to record it and stuff, it's like, I want to get a copy of the karaoke version of the theme anyway, you know, so we don't have the kind of, but I may have to edit it down, because I think if you can get the karaoke version, it's probably of the full song as opposed to the shorter version. So I'll probably have to edit it down. And if you want me to send that to you when I get it, then let me know.
Okay, sure. What's that? Pokemon or Digitamon? I'm guessing it's Digimon.
Oh, Digimon was shit. I never got into Digimon.
You know, it's funny because I watched Digimon. I remember being big on Pokemon. I remember Digimon coming out, right?
Yeah.
And I remember watching it and thinking to myself, what the is this? You know,
I always remember the thing of Digimon Monsters, Digimon are the champions. That was the only thing I ever remember about Digimon, to be honest.
And did you know there were like 3 different series of Digimon?
Really?
Yeah, I think there was 3 or 4. And it was just like, because the 2 things I remember wanting something to replace Pokemon back in the day.
Yeah.
When I was getting older. And I remember Digimon was on and Beyblade.
Right, yeah.
And I remember Beyblade. I remember going, I love Beyblade because Beyblade, it was such a cool thing, you know?
Yeah.
Again, I've got more on hard drive.
I remember Beyblade.
When they did the thing, they rip, and they used to pull the thing out and the circle thing would go round.
Oh, no, I don't.
You don't remember it?
No.
And they'd fight. And then they'd have these monsters come out.
Because Pokemon and Digimon were like, I only really knew about them because of like my sister and stuff. Because she, like I said, she's like 3.5, 4 years younger than me. But I always felt that Digimon was a slightly more adult version of Pokemon. You know, there was something more, I don't know, just the designs and stuff. They weren't as cutesy as Pokemon kind of thing.
Well, I always
don't remember
like
Beyblade at all.
I always felt like there was something sexual about the Digimon.
Oh, yeah.
I always felt like the kids had some sort of deeper connection with them. Because the way they were with them, you know? I always worried about Ash Ketchum as well. Like, he was always
what do you make of the fan theory about that he's in a coma?
You know what? Yeah, because after he got electric shocked.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I watched that, like, I'll say about a year ago, that fan theory.
Yeah.
And it was such a weird one because it makes perfect sense.
I know.
Right? And would understand why he goes against the same people constantly.
Yeah.
You know, why only one Pokemon actually talks properly.
Yeah.
You know, why he bloody goes from one place to another and he never really becomes anything other and he never grows older.
Yeah.
You know?
It was an amazing theory. I love it when you hear some fan theories, and some are absolutely batshit insane. And then others you're like, actually, that kind of makes sense, you know?
Well, the Ash Ketchum one makes perfect sense, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Especially because of the tone change that they had after that point, you know, kind of thing. So.
Plus his voice changes, doesn't it, in the show? So it's
yeah.
a bit... I mean, Ash would be like 34 years old now.
Yeah.
Maybe 36. And he's still like 14.
Yeah.
Or 12 or whatever age he is. I don't even remember what age he is, do you?
No, I don't remember how old he is. It's been such a long time, really, since I watched an episode of Pokemon. It's like...
I have the first 8 series on DVD.
Yeah.
From Australia. And they're beautiful, but they've got tatty, you know, because they were never bag things.
Oh, right, yeah.
Wallets. What's this? Tash, did you collect Pokemon cards?
No. I've never... Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I had the whole collection of the first set. This is how much I remember, right? Because I was young, I was stupid, and I used to beg my mum for the Pokemon cards like crazy. I was like, Mum, give me cards! Give me cards! Right? And even when she said I can't, I'd like, give me more! Give me more! Because they had those cool shiny ones like Charizard and Blastoise and all that.
Yeah.
And I remember like crazy begging her. And I'd get so sad because I'd open it and they'd have those basic potion cards. And I'm like,
yeah.
And when I was a kid, those cards were worth a fortune. If you got like a Charizard, you could get 25 quid by trading it into like a comic shop because they could sell it for 50.
They were, yeah.
Right? But I think people paid that for just a card. It's mental. And
yeah, but then it's like the trading card, the X-Files trading cards I got, the foil ones and that, they're so expensive to buy. It's ridiculous.
It's mental. And I remember getting them. My dad, he worked for a company for basically he would deliver this stuff to shops.
Right.
Like newspapers, the cards and stuff. And we bought some from work, like 2 big boxes. And by the time I got all the Charizards and all that, they were worth nothing.
Oh.
If they'd have been worth something, he would have made some serious money on it.
Really? Yeah. The amount you got, kind of.
It was incredible. My mum still has my whole collection.
That's awesome.
It is
The
amazing.
thing is for me, as I will say, all kind of cards, like trading card kind of games and stuff like that, kind of passed me by because I didn't have any friends and because nobody wanted to talk to me. I wasn't able to do that kind of trading thing, like sharing, going to people and going, have you got this one? Have you got that one? And you'd see people doing it and that, but nobody was ever like with me. So I had no reason to kind of go get the Pokemon cards because I was like, well, it's just going to rely on me getting them all myself, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, what am I going to do with them on my own, kind of thing? Because I get that the whole fun of it is to be swapping and going, oh, you've got this score and that score. I may even remember picking up at one point the X-Files card game. There's an actual card game of X-Files. And I just never got it because obviously I'm just like, there's all these stats and that. And I'm just like, I don't get it because I never had that experience, kind of thing. So I will say anything to do with those kind of, like stat cards and stuff like that, that's always just passed me straight by kind of thing.
I was like, I never had anyone to trade with or spend time with to do it. Except for when I was at church. And
all right, and really? Oh, please say you were sat there at church Pokemon trading.
Except for at church where I would try to do it and I'd get them taken away from me.
Oh.
Because it was classified as evil.
Yeah.
So I never ever was able to trade Pokemon cards. I was never able to do it. So I ended up my dad and my mum ended up just buying them. And I had so many.
You just collected them, kind of thing.
And I had so many of those common crappy ones, And I think about.
Did you have like folders to put them in? Or?
Yeah, they're all in folders. My mum's got like 12 folders of Pokemon cards where they're all in the sticks.
Oh, cool.
Even get this. Even all. Don't know what's up with me today talking. Even my mum, she got imported an original Japanese, beautiful, folded, full like cover Japanese Pokemon cards.
Cool.
And they were beautiful. Right? They were absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've no idea where they are now. I'm guessing they're probably in one of those folders somewhere. But at the time, that was the most amazing, beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. But guess how long?
Go on.
20 minutes. And then I went off and I was like, But, now I think about, wow, my mum really did amazing things for me and my dad. When it comes to those things. Because they bought those.
Oh, yeah.
Because they bought those weird bone things. They bought the Pogs. They bought
you were into Pogs, were you?
They bought
my sister collected Pogs.
I've still got them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've still got them at my mum's. Now I look at them, I think to myself, what about when you could make your own Pogs?
Oh, I know, that was so funny.
Because I remember making Pogs one day at my mum's, and because I was little, and I remember getting some magazines and doing it, and it was a porn magazine. And I went, look, Mum, look all them things, and then she's like, and then I got my dad about it, like, he's shooting wrong. And it was, like, how did he get hold of that?
Isn't it funny, though, when you think how cheap and tacky Pogs were, kind of thing?
It's funny. It's a funny thing when you think about it. Now you get obsessed with utter garbage,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because all that stuff, as great as it is, it's also garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
when I think about it now. I mean, Pokemon cards, they're great and they have great memories for me, but they were expensive for what they were.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, like I say, sorry.
I just remember my mum, we're going to film and I'm going, can I have Pokemon cards? And they're going, yeah, all right, buy me a couple of packs. And then looking at me as I was opening them. And sometimes you get like 4 of the same in them.
Yeah.
So I used to get quite annoyed by it.
Yeah.
But that's being a kid, isn't it?
Like I say, though, it's like when I look through my trading card set and I'm just like, you know, like, especially when I think of the rare sets I got, you know, like were quite expensive kind of thing. And then you look through and it's just like, they're just pictures of like scenes from the show and stuff like that. It's like, I paid a fortune for that. And I love them. I don't regret having them. But like you say, when you think how like engrossed you get in the collecting of it kind of thing, it's
Honestly, those quickly. Ash is my hero. Laugh out loud jokes. Crazy Bones was good. That's what I was talking about, the Crazy Bones.
Yeah.
And one of the best fan theory was Sith Jar Jar Binks. I guess it's because he was so annoying. He'd have to be on the dark side, wouldn't he?
I like the fan theory about Sandy in Greece dying, and when they drive off in the car at the end up towards that's her actually dead kind of thing. So the story, you know, like when in the song he's like she saved her life, she nearly drowned. The fan theory is that actually she did drown, and like the movie playing out is her in this, you know, like being starved of oxygen kind of thing, and it's like that's really dark, and yet at the same time, especially with that bizarre scene of the car taking off at the end, it's like
what was that in?
Kind of, Greece.
What was that in? Oh, Greece.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something completely different.
No, we were saying about fanfic. I was just like.
Don sent me a message.
Oh.
Saying, I'm outside, no Wi-Fi signal. I'll join the chat in a little while. What's he doing outside?
How is he able to message you if he hasn't got Wi-Fi?
You know, now there's some fan fiction about that and possible theories. Well, maybe he has got connection. But I never thought about that with Grace, son.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting... it makes sense in a way, but it's a bit dark.
It's very dark.
But the important question that I haven't gotten around to asking is how have you been? Because you had your anniversary. So congratulations to you and Donna.
5 years from the day we met.
Nice.
You know, it's funny because
how have you been?
I've been pretty good. I had some stuff going on, but other than that, I've been pretty good. Been taking a little bit of time offline, really. You know, not really been talking to people, not really been doing much.
No.
Just been watching movies and just relaxing.
Nice and relaxing, yeah.
You know what it's like when you're fed up and things.
Mm.
And
being annoyed by people, you know, pestered and stuff.
Being annoyed by people.
Time out.
Yeah, exactly. Being annoyed by people, being annoyed by things you read, things you say. You know what it's like. I read today about a gorilla that got killed because a 4-year-old fell into the zoo thing. That wasn't that gorilla's fault, you know. Let him tear the kid apart. It was the mother's fault.
Yeah.
Right. But no, because he got older, the kid was running around with it, swinging it around, bashing it on trees and stuff. They killed it. Ridiculous, you know. You know, the parents in the zoo should be blamed for that, not the animal.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of annoyed me. Spoke to my mum. She was doing all right. Been figuring out. Donna's been going through things like about moving and that because she just wants to move, and obviously we can't move right now. So she's a little bit down about that, but she's up and down about it, which, you know, is to be expected.
Yeah, it was nice to chat with her the other day. So.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
We spoke about it, and she said she really enjoyed it, and she'd like to talk to you again.
Oh.
Yeah, she said she was worried she talked at you, not to you.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, I said it depends on the conversation, of course. Sometimes it can see that way either side, but it doesn't matter. So I should talk to her.
That's the thing. She had a lot to talk about, especially because obviously you were giving her things to talk about, kind of thing. So.
Oh, guys, the best thing with Donnie is when she goes like, she just keeps on talking. I love that. It's so cute, you know. And I just like, and you'll try a button and say something, she'll be like, yeah, that's right. Or No, that's
You
not
know,
right at all. It's just brilliant, you know.
like, I try and say something, and because she's still talking, she doesn't catch it, so she doesn't hear. So it's like, kind of thing.
It's fine. My cousin's exactly the same way,
Really, yeah.
except in a less friendly way. More,
No, yeah.
just talking, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's all
So,
self-centered with him, kind of thing, So,
well, it can be that way with most people, I guess.
well,
But
yeah.
you know, what's this? Are we still up for Money in the Bank? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I want to see Survivors win the title. So yes, congratulations, Malcolm, and your Donna, and your Donna. Oh, okay. I guess because it's about different Donnas.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, I've been just taking a time out. I've been just trying to get used to things, sort myself out. Do you know, because you know what it's like. It's just not in the mood to talk to anyone.
No.
You know,
You just have
or
to
do
shut
anything.
yourself off, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know exactly how it is. Where you haven't got problems with everybody, but sometimes you just want to be away from everybody.
Yeah. It doesn't help when people ruin it. Like some people ruin it for the ones that aren't the problem. But yeah, you just want to go, like, I need to shut off. I need to, and people are like, oh, you're being antisocial. It's like, well, surely if you're down, you need, company. It's like, actually, I just need to be left alone. Let me get it.
It's me being antisocial was this, right? You don't want to talk to people, fine. But antisocial is when you see pictures of you doing dirty things and laughing and then sending it. So I'm saying this is what I'd do rather than be with you. Like masturbating or shit. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you do that, that's antisocial. Right?
Yeah.
But my with me, when I start getting angry and fed up with things, I'm better off being left alone, just dealing with things of my own, because otherwise then I start getting horrible to people.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't want to be horrible to people, so I just give myself that time. So
other than that, take that time to take a breath, kind of thing.
Other than that, I went out with Donna for dinner, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that was lovely. That was nice. It was something I really needed. I needed the relaxation. I needed to get out and do that because point with me and Donna is we don't get out enough.
No.
And
you've very limited options, haven't you, really?
And we want to get out, we want to do things, but sometimes, again, like, you just don't have the places or the reason to go.
The motivation sometimes as well is just lacking. It's like, I want to go out, but I just can't or don't want
to, Ashley says he understands. Oh, that's good. I think we just all go through rough periods in our lives where we think about stuff. Or we do things, and I think when I go out with Donna, like for dinner, I get to relax and I get to chill out, or when I get to game with you or something, I get to have that peaceful relaxation time. And even though I feel like I don't really do anything, I do feel highly stressed a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with being a nice person, because I think when you're nice, I think you end up trying to think of everybody else but yourself.
People take advantage of it as well, don't they? So then you're like, you put more on yourself about it, kind of thing.
Well, you know what it's like because it happens with you a lot,
Yeah.
You're nice to people, and thus they kind of step on you, they annoy you, they attack you, and they whatever, So I've been kind of thinking a lot about that lately as well, and I didn't get to talk to Alex because Alex had some stuff going on, so I didn't get to talk to him on the weekend.
No.
I wanted to talk tomorrow, but I can't because obviously my cousin.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a little bit disappointing, but other than that, I've been away.
Because you've had good chats lately with him, so.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun again. It's been nice to be in contact together more because I've missed it,
Yeah.
It's funny because you get those moments, don't you, where you have all this time where you talk to people and all of a sudden you don't talk to them that much at all, and then you kind of worry it's going to go away, and you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. You never know what happens, but I didn't get to talk to him that much. And other than that, I watched a lot of movies.
Yeah, you've been watching a lot lately, so.
Taking walks are nice, Tash and Malk. I like walking, but I like having a reason to walk. I have to walk, like if I was in England, I walk to the X or something.
Yeah.
You know, I'd get on the bus there. Here, I'm not going to walk just around the block.
No.
And as bad as that sounds, because I should really, it just doesn't seem like there's a purpose for it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, for me, you know, I would love to go out for walks, but as somebody who has to walk with 2 sticks, it's like, it's not really, you know, it takes up. I mean,
did you just say go for a walk with 2 dicks?
You know what? I knew you were going to say that.
I have to walk with 2 dicks.
Yeah, one on each arm. You know, I got my scooter tire went flat Saturday.
What, again?
Friday. No, Friday. Yeah. Friday it went flat. When I got to Tesco's, and I was like, oh, I'll go to the, because it went flat, and I got it. So I went to Tesco's. I thought, if I can just get it back, because I needed desperately to get dog food, which is like this big ass bag, and so I have to try and fit it on the scooter, you know, like between my legs, kind of, you know, like between my legs and the console kind of thing. It sounds way pervier than it is. I know you're going to make a comment, so I'll get there first. But I still had to pick that up because I had no dog food whatsoever. So I went over to the air pump machine at Tesco's. Except I asked this woman there to help, and she bent down to do it, except it turned out that at some point it just gone down enough for the valve to get bent in the wheel, kind of thing. So I like need some pliers to kind of dig it out a little bit or something. So it meant that she couldn't get it to pump up. So I'm like, oh, for goodness sake. So I went over to the Pets at Home, which is like just opposite Tesco's kind of thing. And then I had to get all the way home on this flat tire. And I'm like, I was trying to like use the dog food on slightly to the side so it would take less pressure off the wheel. And I found like going faster helped a little bit because obviously it was like balancing a bit better, but it was so annoying. But I had to go over. The reason why I brought that up is because I had to go over to the shop today to get some milk, because I swear if I had to live another couple of days without milk, tea, I'd just go up the wall. I had to go over to the shop, and it's so difficult, you know, walking with the stick, especially because I don't have, especially my shoulder's been really playing up, so I don't have really any grip in this hand at the moment. So trying to rest on the sticks and walk over, and then, you know, getting a couple of bits, you know, in a bag, and having to hang the bag on my stick, and, you know, like trying to, that hits against the sides and stuff, so then you're feeling a little skew-whiff. So I'd love to go for walks, and, you know, I've got some beautiful, there's some woods at the bottom of my road, but from a health standpoint, unfortunately, it's not the kind of thing that makes you want to go, I'm totally going to go for a walk today, you know.
Well, I have to be honest, if I was in your position, I'd use 2 sticks to get around. I wouldn't want to go on long walks with them because it'd hurt.
No,
you know?
It's so exhausting. Anybody who's used one stick could tell you how exhausting using one of those crutches is.
I remember my mum used to use sticks to get about before she was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And because when she used to go out, I used to push her in it, but now she's got a motorised one.
Right, yeah.
So she can get about and do all these type of things, you know. I'm looking forward to saying to her, "Can't do the 12." We'll go around, and you know, I'm sure people are going to get angry with me, but anyway.
There's a guy at group. He likes to do like a 360, you know, just spin around on his motorised wheelchair.
And that's what you're meant to do with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hope she does that. But what I'm trying to say is, when she used to do it, she used to walk for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, just up the road somewhere, and she'd be sweating, she'd be out of breath, and it would be too much for her. Right? So I feel so bad for people that have to, you know, do that constantly.
Yeah.
Because I won't be able to do it.
Well, especially because I have the weak chest, it just makes exhaustion, you know, so much more kind of. And people look at me and just go, "Oh, it's a fat person trying to get along." It's like, no, you don't realise how much pain I'm in and how much, like, you know, trying to struggle for breath. It's like.
Well, going back to what I'd been doing, I also, because it's Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, we got bank holiday today.
It's
so.
Memorial Day today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get this, but because of Memorial Day, I was able to get some bargains.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even know what memorial stands for. Who cares, right? It's you know what? No, I do know what it stands for. It stands for all the soldiers.
Yeah.
You know, fought for our freedom and everything. And you know, my thoughts are out to all their families with the people who are actually in the war. Right? Last bit was a joke. Not this bit. Not the bit I just said, but the bit before.
Yeah, the bit before.
Yeah. You know, I don't think so.
How to dig your hole and
throw yourself in it, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I bought some bargains on TNA's website, which is Total Non-Stop Wrestling.
Yeah.
You know TNA, you see on Challenge.
Yeah, I've heard it's really, really awful.
I saw that they had a deal going on, springtime deal. For $29.99, you get 5 wrestling DVDs, a T-shirt, and a cap. How cool is that?
That's quite cool.
So because they had 15 different DVDs in that choice, I bought it 3 times.
Nice.
So I've got 3 shirts, 3 caps, 15 wrestling DVDs. I won 6 others I bought separately. And they're all coming because I'm all as well, right? So it's like...
Excellent.
So it's like, great. Then I looked on highspots.com. We were selling Blu-rays on sale of Pro Wrestling Experience.
Yeah.
So I was like, what ones have I got? Oh, I need 5. In the basket you go. So I bought them. Right. And then...
Hey, this is how it all starts again, Malcolm. You're supposed to be getting rid of stuff.
Then DG USA had a sale when they were Revolt Blu-rays. And they would buy 3 for $30, and I needed 10 of them. So I bought them 3 times, and then I bought one on its own for the price. And so I was like, okay, cool, I got them. So I've got them all coming when they get here.
Cool.
So
you're doing unboxing?
I might do a big unboxing of them all and do a video because it is a big amount.
Like an update or something.
So I've got 3 caps because Donna said to me a couple of days ago, she said, you need to get more caps because you're going bald. Right? Yeah. And you need caps to cover your head.
Charming.
Yeah. So I said, not you and all. I said, I'll get bad enough for Tash. And so when I got the DVDs now, I said to her, I said, look, don't get angry. But I bought 3 caps and all the DVDs and the shirts came free with it. Right?
Yeah.
How much was the caps? They were $29.99. And what do you get with it? You get a free shirt and you get 5 DVDs. Are you sure it ain't the 5 DVDs in the shirt and you get a free cap? But normally those sales were like $39.99, but because they had the 25% off because of Memorial Day, it made it cheaper. So I
went on PlayStation today wondering if there was going to be a sale because of bank holiday. Wasn't any sale, so I was like,
that's a bit disappointing because there should have been.
Yeah.
It's the extended play sales over here, which isn't that great.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I was surprised there wasn't a Memorial because I did go on a US one. I was surprised there wasn't I didn't realise it was a Memorial Day, but I'm surprised there wasn't then a Memorial Day sale on there.
You know, I'm surprised. I was actually surprised because I was actually kind of annoyed because originally I went, Ring of Honor will have a sale and I can get the DVDs I need.
Yeah.
And they had a sale, but it was a mystery box with 2 Ring of Honor DVDs, a shirt and a cap. And I was like, I don't need mysterious ones. I need ones that I haven't got.
Yeah.
Have you completed Until Dawn yet, Tash?
No, I haven't even gone back to it. I have this with games sometimes where I will focus everything on doing that game like as quickly as possible. And I had it with, I did it with Enslaved. I did it with Uncharted 4. And then what I need to do is I need a moment of recuperation kind of thing, you know, like getting back into so it doesn't feel so much as a chore. And especially because of all that time on, say, gaming, I fall out of sync with my Skybox, which then gets full and threatens to delete stuff and whatnot. So I have every intention of going back to it. To be honest, I'm probably more likely to go back to GTA to finish that off before Until Dawn. I think just because I've spent so much time on GTA, I want to get that finished off kind of thing. I have every intention of going back to Until Dawn, but just not at the moment because like I say, I started up the PS3 today and actually put Star Wars The Force Unleashed in. So It's nice to get set up my next like gaming project,
Yeah.
if you will, you know, kind of thing. So,
Well, your next game project was meant to be God of War, remember? So we could talk about.
oh shit, yeah. I didn't get far into Unforce Unleashed. I was going to put God of War on, but for some reason I was just drawn to Star Wars. So
Yeah, let your partner and climb down.
I will have played some next week, I promise.
All right, sounds good to me. Since I'm nearly finished the second game now, and I'm almost on to the PSP one, so I think that's actually quite funny. But
I don't find Until Dawn as engrossing as, say, like a game where I'm gaming, you know, like doing a lot of action and stuff like that. So.
You could complete Until Dawn in a day. Actually, less
no,
than
I know.
I completed the whole thing in 6 hours.
Yeah. No, I know it's
with
really
the trophies.
short. Yeah, I know it's really short, but I just don't find myself I find the characters so annoying. I'm just like, oh, do I really have to listen to these twats? It's like...
Yeah, it's the problem with Until Dawn, because I have to be honest, I have to give it props. I bought the game and I hated it.
Yeah.
And then I watched Ash's stream and it made me want to play it again. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I was like, oh, finally something happens in the game. Because in the first 3 chapters, it's like, what's going on? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And I think I gave up on the 3rd chapter originally. I was like, I'll just trade it in, get rid of it, and get something else.
Mm.
So I'm playing through it, and I'm like, come on. When it gets to some bits, you're just like,
yeah.
You know, it's awful when some bits you just sit there going, yeah, I don't really like this, and then it gets better.
Yeah.
But it's one of those games you'll only play once or twice if we get the trophies.
Yeah. It's not that I think it's a bad game. And I completely get what it's doing, you know, like taking the tropes of horror movies and slasher movies and stuff. I was gonna say slasher fix is a completely different thing. You know, I get what it's doing and I appreciate what it's doing. I just don't find myself particularly, you know, and it's beautiful, but I just don't feel myself as engrossed, you know, like really having the need to sit there for hours on end, kind of, you know, sat focusing on it. It's not like something where Uncharted, where I'm engrossed by the story and action, you know, kind of thing. So.
Well, you know, that's why it's always good if you can get them all to survive, because at the same time you don't have to do anything; they'll just die.
I know. I'm so annoyed that bitch died just because I missed a QuickTime event. It's like, if there was ever a reason to make me hate QuickTime events with a passion, it's that one little slip that I made.
You should go for it. You should start again.
You reckon?
Yeah, because then otherwise you'd have to make them live on both sides, wouldn't you?
So annoying. Yeah, but that's a long way to play through again. It's just.
Well, it's funny because the game itself isn't that bad. It's just one of those games that I can never see myself playing again.
It's that sodding doctor that creeps me out. Seriously.
See, I bought Beyond Two Souls, didn't I, to play again on the PS4.
Yeah.
And I got through half it, and I was just like, I don't even know why I'm playing this game again.
Well, I got the Beyond Two Souls Heavy Rain bundle, didn't I, cheap? I was like, oh, I'll go back through Heavy Rain, because I actually found myself bizarrely, you know, like sucked into that one. And then I'm just like, I can't be bothered.
I mean, I bought Heavy Rain on the PS3, so I can go through it again, because obviously I got through a big chunk of it, and I was like, there's some trophies here I could get. But I've got to the point now where I'm like, unless there's a reason, there's no point going through a game again.
No. Well, you're too interested in getting everybody or some other people to get your trophies at the moment, so. Burn.
Oh, that was so, what do you call it, that? I was just like...
That was a good to bring it up, wasn't it?
It was like a big fuck you as well. It was like, you know, like...
No, I didn't mean it as a fuck you.
It was like, fuck you, yeah? It was like, I was like, fucking hell. But...
Sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
That's all right. I know what you mean.
Although, women are better gamers than me.
And well, in case people don't know, luckily only 3 people. But look, only Ashley was watching it. Now we've got 3 viewers after you mentioned that. Share. So, you know, in case people don't realise, what's been happening is we've been playing Uncharted 4. And what happened was I said to Tash, can you do the driving sequences for me? Because I'm really bad at them.
We should also note that I did mention it last week, but I had already completed the game and platinumed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you finally went back to it because you'd been playing. You finally finished the game, didn't you? You finished it before we chatted last week, but yeah, you hadn't gone for the trophy. You were doing a casual kind of playthrough, weren't you?
Yeah.
And like you say, you don't like you hate driving sequences.
Yeah, I hate driving sequences. So what I said because I'd helped Tash in the past with a couple of trophies, which were the hardest trophies, I think, a lot harder than the Uncharted ones. But anyway, and I'm sure if I explained them to people would understand. But anyway.
I'm sorry. Can we take a moment? I'm sorry. I will still say, you say about the Zombie Army Trilogy one. I helped you get your one, so you supporting me to get mine is like.
Okay, there's a difference, right? On your one, I did the shooting and got the trophy in the long one, right? On my one, I did the shooting and got the trophy in the long one. You were just there trying to lead them away from shooting me. But anyway, going back to me, I helped Tash get a few trophies, and basically what happened was I said I really don't want to get these driving ones.
Yeah.
So you said because you'd offered to help me with the Batman one, which actually was really, really hard.
Yeah.
And we didn't get that one in the end. You said
we didn't get anywhere after hours of trying.
You said, you know what, I'll do the driving ones for you. I don't mind helping you with it.
Yeah. No.
So I said, sure. So along the way, they went from just doing the driving ones to Tash going, I might as well try and get this trophy for you right here and on. And I was like, okay. So 15, 16 trophies later, I'm nearly close to getting.
Did you say 17? Yeah, 17 out of like 51 trophies so far.
56, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, whatever.
So yeah, about 17 trophies altogether, which is quite nice.
And there's still a couple more that I'm going to get for you. So.
Yeah, there's still a couple more. So
yeah, well, it went from the driving one to then will you do the boat one? I'm like, okay. And like you say, there was like a stealth one that was involved in the driving level. So then you're like, well, instead of me going for this trophy, will you get the treasures? And then will you get the cans? And then when you get... But you said that you found it actually quite therapeutic because you were just sat there watching me.
It's very therapeutic, actually.
Quite boring, but
it's actually a lot of fun because not only is it therapeutic, but I also get relaxed while we're doing it because it's not just boring going and doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is after Uncharted, we're going to go on to Fallout 4. And Tash is going to help me with that because she said Fallout 4 is one of the best and easiest games she's ever played, and it won't take her long, maybe about 100 hours. So I said, yeah, all right, let's do that.
I'm so done. I've had DLC for that, and I'm just like, I have no interest in going back to Fallout.
I'm going to start paying Tash to do my platinums for me.
I think you should, because seriously.
I'm going to say, here you go, here's £10 for Fallout 4.
I worked so hard to get my Uncharted 4 platinum. I'm like, right, I'm going to move on to the next one. And it's like, oh, wait, I'm going to spend time getting Malcolm's platinum instead. And I don't get anything to show for it.
Well, you know, you'll have something to show for it on the next game you platform. You know?
I don't know why you know what though, he won't say this in the chat, but it is nice when he compliments me going, it's really fun to, you're really good at this.
Hey, I taught you well, what can I say?
You know what, there's a virtual slap for you, a gift slap, you know. Yeah.
No,
bad enough when Donna was talking to me and you're like going on about sexual stuff in the background and she's just like, and I'm like, yeah, this is what he's like when we're talking.
And that's the point where she was like, he's like, what, when he talks to you?
Yeah, exactly.
She went from this to...
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a couple of comments there. Lego Star Wars is out soon, yay.
Yeah, you got that pre-order, didn't you?
Yeah, it comes out the 28th. I'll tell you what comes out before that, and I've said it to you, but I'll say it to Catalyst. It's coming out.
There's a thing, I got a message from Amazon going, if you pre-order Mirror's Edge by this date, this is the last because it comes out next week. If you pre-order it in the next 48 hours, you'll get a special bonus code or whatever. I'm like, I want it. Like,
No, it's a shame though. It's a shame that you can't get it.
here's a beg to the buy me for my birthday. No, I'm joking. I will get it eventually. It's just at the moment it's not in grand scheme of priorities. It's not. And like I say, I got the bloody Blu-ray of X-Files season 10 coming out next week. So
don't fucking get. Why don't you cancel that and get Mirror's Edge? Because that's more important.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, but there's a big difference between either 15 quid or bloody.
Is it only 15 quid?
I think it's cheaper than 15 quid, to be honest. But yeah, I just don't have 47 quid that Amazon want for Mirror's Edge. It's like, but I want it so badly because, of course, all the footage and trailers and everything are happening at the moment. I'm like, but yeah, that would have been. But yeah, you're looking forward to Star Wars.
Definitely, I'm definitely looking forward. Oh dear.
What's that?
Alex isn't on Facebook anymore.
Oh, did he close his account because of problems?
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it says I can't contact him anymore.
Might be because of the problem he had.
Maybe. That's a bit weird.
To be honest, I don't play.
Well, it's been having problems anyway lately, So, no, I'm lost. What were we talking about?
Mirror's Edge.
That's it.
Star Wars.
I was just about. The reason I saw the thing was because I was about to check Amazon.
Yeah.
To see the bloody X-Files, see how much it actually was.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I hate the internet.
But yeah, Star Wars. You're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be fun when it does come out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's $17.99.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it coming out because I want to. I want to play it, the Lego Star Wars. I'm looking forward to it because it's one of those games that I know if I wanted to, I could play and enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm going to enjoy it with Donna, and then I'm going to play through it again. And, it depends because we've been getting into gaming a lot again, haven't we? Me and Donna together. So.
Yeah, it's been nice that you've been sat there chilling out and, playing it together kind of. Because you've been playing God of War, haven't you?
We have been. And what an epic game. Anybody who hasn't played God of War, go out and play it now and then have a go at me afterwards.
It is an amazing game. I mean, like I say, I played the original on the PS2 so long ago. I haven't played the sequels, but from what I remember, it was an amazing game for its time.
It's really good.
Especially story-wise kind of thing.
The only problem I have with the game is the bloody... the bloody camera angles.
Right,
because the camera angles are so off that after time you miss things in the room. Like there'll be a lever over there and there'll be a statue over there you need to move to get to that lever, but you won't see it on the screen, so you think, oh, what's happening? And the game doesn't always explain to you what you need to do.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. I have that sometimes with Uncharted. It's like, where am I supposed to go?
I mean, in number one, you fight all the way to get Pandora's box to open to beat Ares. Right?
Yeah.
And all you do is open it up and you become this big, massive, it's like being in fucking Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And then you're fighting with massive sword. So it's just like it. I never thought about that before. And then you basically kill Ares, and then in the next one, you have to fight Zeus. So, John said it won't let me in. According to Google, it's offline. The chat.
Really?
But Ashley is commenting, so it can't be.
Oh, so say.
No, let me quickly respond to that. How weird.
Let me see if it comes up even on the... Get your channel up, then. No, it's saying live now. Let me see if it'll load up.
We're going to play it also together. Yeah, we're going to definitely play it, Ashley. I'm looking forward to playing it with you afterwards.
No, it's working on the chat on YouTube. It's weird.
It's weird. I just complete Heavy Rain. Oh, Ashley's completed Heavy Rain. What did you think of it?
Oh, cool. Yeah, what did you think of it, Ashley?
And by the way, Screen Queens is out on DVD in September. Is it out on Blu-ray? Because DVD doesn't exist to me.
You know what? It's still on my planner because I didn't get the first couple of episodes. It's still on my Skybox, so I haven't watched it, kind of thing.
What, Screen Queens?
Yeah.
Skip it. It's a waste of time.
I thought you really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a little bit, but not completely.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows that you'd either love or hate. You know, it's over the top stupid. There were some episodes in it which I watched and I was like, that's really fantastic. And there's other episodes I watched and I've gone, like, there's a bit where a guy gets his arms cut off and then he's getting chased and everybody's come up ladder going, come on, go up ladder. It's like, because I can't go up ladder. It's funny, but at the same time, you're like, yeah. You know? And in the last episode, they tell you who the killer is before the actual revelation of it, which you should have had. Yeah. So by the time you find out who the killer is, you just turn it off because you can't be bothered. You know?
So there's a question I wanted to ask you.
Why do I stay so good looking? Well, I can answer that. It's very easy when you look like me. But go on.
See, it sucks now that you're not sat in front of your mirror, isn't it? Yeah. Have you angled it so you can still see it where you are?
I've angled it. I put it actually on the DVD so now I can look at it and go, you know.
No, I was going to ask because I was watching a video where they were talking about the top 10 like controversies of the 90s, you know, like within media kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they were talking about this is where I totally get it wrong, the bad attitude era of WWF.
Oh, the attitude era.
Yeah, sorry, the attitude. I thought it was the attitude, and I was like, I thought it was attitude, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. So I just added bad just to like.
The bad attitude.
I'm glad I was right the first time. No, I just wish I'd actually voiced the first one. But yeah, the attitude era of the wrestlings. What are your thoughts? You know, like on the change up and how like more family friendly it's become since kind of because of that time period.
You know, I was more a fan of family wrestling.
Right.
A lot of people go, oh, the attitude era rolls because Stone Cold Steve Austin used to cut his middle fingers and this sort of stuff, and you'd get women basically with no bras on but with things on their things. And I was never interested in that much. I've always cared about wrestling more than the actual sex and the violence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I liked blood in cage matches because I believe they should have been in cage matches because, well, you could get cut open on cage, you know. But I've never agreed with the Attitude Era being the best era. To me, the best era was the family era in the early 90s and in the late 80s. To me, that was the best era of wrestling.
So did like Ed McMahon get fired or something? Is that why it kind of got, like, not Ed McMahon? You know what? It's because I've watched so many videos lately. You know, like when they talk about different people.
Ed McMahon, I like that. I'll have to remember that when I'm trying to go in the wrestling community. Ed McMahon.
Fuck off. Anyway, the guy that was the head of the.
What, Vince McMahon?
Yes.
He can't get fired because he's the bloody owner.
Well, what happened? Like, why did things change? Was it just a change up? Was it because of
the reason things changed is because of WCW. WCW came along, and they had this kind of rough edginess kind of wrestling.
Right.
And it became to a point where they were making storylines and and they had to fight with it because they wanted to be the best, and thus they upped their game, as they say.
Right. Yeah.
And they made it more about sex, more about violence, more about comedy, but in funny ways, like
But why
throwing
did it
people in
change
the river.
back to more family friendly? Is that because of how controversial it was, or
I
just
think
like it
because
wasn't working?
the reason it went back to, excuse me, was because of the sponsors. You know, the people that actually
Yeah,
pay.
yeah,
Like you're not going to get people like, let's think of one.
McDonald's. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, you're not going to get people like McDonald's supporting somebody who's doing violent stuff. You
Mm.
like the way wrestling is now. You're like they'll get help with Walt Disney and stuff. Do you get what I mean? And they can do
yeah,
things like that, and they can do things like Make a Wish, and they can have a more outreach program. But I think wrestling now, as much as I like wrestling, I feel like wrestling in a way has died.
yeah.
In a lot of ways.
You said recently, like the WrestleManias and that have not been. They've been quite predictable and.
They are. They're very predictable, and I think the biggest problem that wrestling has is the fact that people need to watch more of the independents. Because you talk to the average wrestling fan, see, this is what I hate about wrestling fans. You talk about wrestling fans, you'll go, "Oh, CM Punk's amazing." I'm not talking about when he was in WWE. I'm talking about before.
Right.
So we're talking about late 90s, early 2000s, right? And they'll go, "Who?" Right? When that person becomes big in WWE or that, they go, CM Punk's amazing. He's great. Oh, did you see him? And they'll watch a couple of videos of him on YouTube and think they know everything about him, right? CM Punk's a bad example because that's not new. People like El Generico, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, it was Kevin Steen on the Independents. I watched them for years, right? On the Independents before anybody practically noticed them on WWE on that. Now WWE, they go, "Oh, did you know Kevin Owens used to be Kevin Steen? He used to wrestle in Ring of Honor and PWG. I ain't watched him, but I've watched matches on YouTube, but I don't buy the DVDs." Why don't you buy the DVDs and watch more of the people that you don't see yet? You know? People like Claudio Castagnoli, who's now Cesario in WWE. People going about how great he is. They don't think about how he was in Ring of Honor and PWG and that. You know, and these things make me laugh because you say to people, "Oh, Adam Cole," and they'll go, "Oh, Adam Cole, great, yeah, he's awesome. I've heard lots about him. Have you watched him?" No. Why not?
Yeah, they just like hear the names and just immediately assume like, "Oh, I know everything."
It's like you going, "Oh, I really like this. I really like this actor in this show, but I don't want to look for anything else of him because I just like him in this show."
Yeah.
You know. It's like we talk to people about Jensen Ackles or something. You go, "Oh, well, he was in Dark Angel, he was in Smallville at one point, and he was in some things." They go, "Oh, but that's too old now. I don't want to watch that because he's good in Supernatural." And you're like, then you're not a fan, are you?
No, yeah.
You know? But, yeah, the problem with wrestling now is the fact that they had to make it more PG because of the people sponsoring it. They, people who own parts of it were like, "We're not sponsoring this if it stays violent." As the independents, to me, are the best place to watch wrestling because you actually get a chance to watch people actually contribute. You know, like the independents to me is where people earn their stripes.
Yeah.
You know, it's where people push themselves, where you see who's a star and who's not. And I think
always remember. Yeah, sorry.
And I think that's the problem now with wrestling. But go on, what were you going to say?
No, I mean, I was never like into watching, like the full matches and stuff, but I watched bits here and there kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the 90s kind of thing. And I think it's because like my dad was a big fan of boxing and I felt like wrestling was like a natural progression of it. Like when wrestling, like back when it was like the WWF still, like in the 90s it became more popularized, didn't it, on like British TV, the American, kind of became more. And I remember like in the early 90s, watching bits, and then there was that sudden shift, and I just remember it becoming really weird, and I was just like, what is even going on, kind of thing. So
well, I remember how different it got because I was really young, just as they changed it. I was with my grandma's, and I went, "Oh, the wrestling's on. I'm going to watch the hardcore match." Right? And she went, "Hardcore? I don't think so." I got really angry. She thought I meant punk. Right?
Yeah.
And she was really angry about it. And she was like, "You can't let your son watch this," to my mother. And I didn't have cable in the Attitude Era to watch it.
Yeah.
But my nan had cable, and I watched WCW on her TV instead of WWE because at the time I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
And then later on, when I actually moved out with my mum's, I moved to my nan's. I watched WWE again back in 2002.
All right. Yeah.
But I don't really care about the Attitude Era that much. To me, it's over said about because I watch DVDs and movies and whatever they have about, and it's always the same old shit. Like, the Attitude Era had Stone Cold Steve Austin doing this and doing that. And yeah, he did. And that was fun. But you don't need to hear about an every Blade documentary.
No, yeah.
What's this? I totally agree with you on wrestling, Mel. That's a nice thing. Oh, thank you.
Do you feel in a way, because I was thinking about this when you said last time, when there was the event that you and Alex or you and Ashley had watched, and you said that there wasn't much to it, kind of thing, or whatever it was.
Oh,
it was like
you mean
the other week or something?
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah, you said it wasn't worth talking about because it
Yeah, it wasn't worth talking about. Not because it wasn't a good event, but because it was the same matches practically from the last event, Payback.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the big problem with wrestling as well. You get the same matches over and over again. Like, you had AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns, and then you have him going again. And then you get the same finish with the club coming out and basically disrupting it. Well, as great as that is, and as fun as that is for people to freak out about, it's the same ending practically.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you feel in a way, because obviously you've got like the same people being wheeled out year after year, event after event kind of thing, in a way, do you feel like it's becoming like a soap opera? Like if you're exposed to too much of it, you're just seeing the same people do the same thing over and over again, kind of thing. It's like the same stories and the same, like you say, predictabilities and stuff.
This is my problem with WWE right now. You've got Kevin Owens, right? Kevin Owens on the independent scene as Kevin Steen did the exact same storyline in two different independent promotions as was happening with him right now in WWE.
Right.
So he's the bad guy, wants the belt, he wants to destroy Sami Zayn. I've seen this on the independents back in 2009, 2010, right? I don't need to watch that again because it's the same bloody storyline, right?
Yeah.
So seeing it again just makes me bored shitless because I'm like, the matches in the independent scene from them were far better.
Yeah.
And they weren't PG. And I mean, there's a great one at Final Battle 2010 where Kevin Steen goes against El Generico, who is Sami Zayn. And they fight to each other to so point where they're bleeding and half his mask is ripped off and everything. And it's such an amazing match, but you'll never get that in WWE.
Yeah.
Because they've got to do the PG wrestling. They've got to do this, they've got to do that. And I just feel like characters that they bring in, they want them to be like the independents, but the problem is they do the same storyline they practically did then.
I know we mentioned it before, but do you feel stuff like, like TNA, which is kind of, like internationally panned for how tacky it is and stuff. Do you feel like that kind of does not help towards the attitude towards wrestling, or?
I think the problem.
I don't know what.
See, my problem with TNA.
Yeah.
Is back in 2002 to 2006, 7.
Yeah.
2007. It was a really, really great promotion. You had great wrestling. You had the X Division. You had some great people. Then they started bringing all the has-beens into it, like Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, old people. And they started taking the time away from the younger talents. And it ended up making the company more crap. And now when you watch it, you're just like, this is so boring.
Wheel out the geriatric. They're trying to play on nostalgia, and it's just like...
Yeah, exactly. And that's what killed WCW in the end as well. Right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that always gets me with TNA is they're such great players. Right? They have great people, great wrestlers, but nearly all those great wrestlers have actually left the company now.
Yeah.
And they're actually in WWE now. So it just shows you what happens. You know what I mean? And I mean, I like TNA still. I like watching it now and again. But I think the problem is they're a sinking ship. And I think that's the problem. I mean, I wish WWE would just buy them out and just have another show on.
do you feel like rivalries kind of grow old? You know, like say like something like Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, or like Edge and you know that love triangle thing they had going on and stuff like that. Do you feel that gets old, or do you feel like they should continue, or do you think they should have a set time before they like go, okay, let's just let this be now or something?
Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior is a good example because they went against each other at WrestleMania 6, right? And he beat them for a title. We're talking about 1991, I think it was. I could be wrong. Yeah. And then they had a match in WCW, and they thought, we'll bring back that rivalry. But by that time, most people didn't care about that rivalry anymore because there wasn't one. You know? And I feel
everybody's moved on, you know.
And another one is John Cena and Randy Orton. People go, I'd like to see another John Cena and Randy Orton rivalry now. And you're like, but we saw it in 2004. We saw it in 2006. We saw it in 2007, 8, and 9. We've seen it in 2010. We've seen it in 2012, 13. We don't need to see it anymore. You know, get new wrestlers to have new rivalries with. That's one of the things I like about the independents. You can have new rivalry with somebody next month because you can get a new person in at any moment because they're not on contract.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to wrestle with you in a match in the independents, I can get that to happen because you're not under contract with another company to stop you from doing that. But in WWE, they're all under contract because they've got me to do it.
Yeah.
You know, there are contracts, of course, to say, I want to do this many matches. But you can get someone in one time and get them to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because...
It's just sad when I think... Sorry.
And because they all go from different promotions. I mean, I've been watching Evolve, I've been watching PWG, I've been watching Ring of Honor again, and you get the same people in each organisation, but with different people they go against.
Yeah.
And those matches follow through to other places. So it makes it more interesting.
Yeah. I think it's sad in a way when you think, you know, like where you think where wrestling was, in a way it feels like popularity has kind of hurt it, you know, because they're trying to please so many different type of people and stuff. Like I say, you end up you think back to like Andre the Giant times and stuff like that, and you think like how much it grew and stuff. And then I feel like you say, it's become like this drama circle in a way, and I feel like it's become more of more like a soap opera kind of thing. It's kind of sad when you feel like, you know, it's made out to be the testosterone filled, and it's like actually you probably get the same storyline or something like Beauty and the Beast or something, you know, kind of thing.
I think the problem with wrestling is the same thing that's the problem with everything else. I think the whole PG thing is fair enough, but I think making it too accessible for kids brings your show down too much, because there is no such thing as the Care Bears of wrestling.
No, exactly.
So they shouldn't have the PG and they shouldn't have the attitude. They should have it in the middle.
Yeah.
The days of Ric Flair when he was wrestling in NWA back in the 80s was the best time.
Right, yeah.
Because they weren't completely horrible, they weren't completely bad, but you still felt for the people because they got attacked.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, the Four Horsemen dismantled people every night when they wrestled, right?
Yeah.
And it was beautiful because it was technical and it was like they were proper badasses, you know?
Right, yeah.
And I like that, but that was before it was completely PG. And the Attitude Era was just too much with the nakedness and all this stuff, and women being in bars and panties matches, and you know, nobody wants to see that now. We want to see women actually wrestle and be treated as real wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that's the way it should have been all along, if you ask me. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think the PG whole thing is just like, oh, let's make it PG and people can get away with it. We can do this and do that, and people will have. People will be able to watch it anywhere. And I think that's the problem, because wrestling, before it was on mainstream TV, was a better sport. It was a sport before it was called sports entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, now nobody believes wrestling's real now.
No.
Back before it was on TV all the time, people thought it was.
Well, that's the thing. People questioned. They were like, "Is it? Isn't it?" And now everybody's just like, "Yeah, it totally is." You know, because it is that kind of.
Oh, we've got a couple of comments there.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks is great. She is. AJ Styles was the best in Ring of Honor and early TNA. Yeah, he was the best in TNA. I wouldn't say Ring of Honor. I mean, he was really good in it, but I wouldn't say he was the best in it. Malk the Mirror Man, LOL. Ash versus the Evil Dead, also out on DVD in September.
Yeah,
oh, it's
yeah, I want to see that.
Ash is going against the Evil Dead, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, good luck with that. TNA's a
Good
sinking
luck.
ship.
Yeah.
Too many rematches, I swear. Mel, did you hear about the WWE brand split? And fun chat tonight. Good work, guys. I did hear about the brand split, and I'm curious to see if they're going to make a separate title again, because in 2013, I think it was, they created the single belt again.
Right, yeah.
To fight across the whole company.
Yeah.
So the question now is, are they going to do it where they have two separate belts? Because if they've got a brand split, they should.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what happens. And I kind of feel like the brand split again is something that happened years ago, and they're just doing it again because it's another way of making storylines.
Yeah.
You know, and it's again, why would you want a brand split when you're going against the same people over and over again, and have even less of a room for it to be different?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a little bit, again, I mean, and it's on Mondays and Tuesdays now, not Mondays and Thursdays.
All right, yeah.
And they're both going to be shown live on TV. So, yeah.
Really? Back to back, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
Not spacing it out across the week.
Again, it's like when you want wrestling to happen on Monday and like one on a Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
But no. So it's a little bit like,
I think, though, like what you were saying about like PG-13, I think that spreads like across all mediums of entertainment, though. It's like everybody just assumes that everything will be accessible now to everybody. And then, you get something like, say, Deadpool come along, and, then there's these parents taking their kids along to see this R-rated movie or whatever, and just assuming, oh, it's a superhero movie. And despite all the things, going R-rated and stuff, in the same way that people have that attitude towards, say, video games, and then they flip out when, like, it's more adult than they were expecting. It's like, that's why there's classifications. But then you get something like Deadpool come along where it is more adult, and people are like, oh, what's going on? It's like, why isn't this more accessible? It's like, because not everything has to be accessible to kids,
So this is the thing that irritates me with people. People in today's society, they just have this kind of brain dead attitude.
Yeah.
So I could say to my mum, hey, can you buy me this movie? And she'd go, yeah, all right, whatever. And fight in the car. It could be rated 18, it could have been a porno. She wouldn't know until she got home.
No.
But my mum actually was pretty good with that stuff because she bought me that stuff anyway, whether it was 18 or not. And she knew. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people now, I could say to my mum, let's say she was now, oh, can I have this game? And they'll be like, yeah, all right, whatever, because they're too busy focusing on their mobile phone or something else.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, I want GTA 5, at 6 years. I mean, this is why you get so many of these Call of Duty kids, kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, go on, go play your game with your mates, kind of thing.
I hate Call of Duty people. I've got 3 Call of Duty games I have to bloody complete.
I think Call of Duty is just a good example because of the but I mean, that's what cracks me up then when the parents finally turn around and they see what their children are playing, and it's like, oh no, evils of gaming. It's like, well, maybe if you paid attention to what you were buying your child, or what a movie you're taking them to. It
does annoy me. Because I think if people actually pay more attention, we'd probably have a better world.
Oh, I heard that, what? Like I say, it was nice weather yesterday, and I was out the back, and unfortunately all the kids were out, and there's this kid. Now, I grew up in a house where we weren't allowed to swear, like, very kind of, and there was this kid outside, must have been about 10 years old. All of a sudden I hear this almighty, he's got shit in his hand. I was like, what the bloody? And I'm not even kidding. This wasn't even like a discussion thing. we're talking about at the top of his lungs, filling out the whole street, kind of thing. It's like, oh my God.
And what about this? When I lived in my place, I had all the kids playing outside, and they'd tell me to shut the F up.
Gee, exactly.
I remember one day one of them had to go at me so much, I was like, I'm not taking this anymore. Got over the ball, stabbed it and threw it, and then pushed it in their face like that, knocked them over.
Yeah. I'm not being prudish. I just mean, like, it is surprising. It is like, is that kind of thing where they learn from so many different kind of, sources now.
Oh, there we go. Do you think it's right to blame violence on movies?
No. Sorry.
And why not?
No, I'll let you go first. Sorry.
No, you can go first. Why don't you think you should?
Okay. I mean, look at both of us. Like, we're both into horror movies. We're both into action, watching the shit get, you love wrestling, We're used to all this stuff, violent stuff. Both of us are probably the most, aside from, we're probably the most pacifist, kind of caring, least violent people, on the planet, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've grown up, like people say about gaming. It's like, I've grown up with games where, you kill things and everything, and I wouldn't hurt I would hurt a fly because they're evil little shits. No. Actually, I can't hurt flies. But not because I can't, but just because I can't catch them. No, seriously though, obviously, there are people with predispositions on a psychological level, if they're psychopaths and stuff like that, where that kind of thing can affect them, like play into their fantasies, play into their but I feel like violent movies and that can actually be, or games can actually be an outlet, like to like just let off that like when you go, right, that's it, I'm gonna go watch this movie, I'm feeling really stressed at the moment, let's go watch somebody kill somebody else on a movie or something like that. I feel something like watching Die Hard, you get that adrenaline of watching it, but just that action just makes you feel slightly like it's like they're killing somebody on your behalf, kind of thing.
Well, it's like watching Missing Action today. It was a very patriotic movie of America, because he goes in and he saves the prisoner of wars from the Vietnamese, and he brings them to the thing to prove that they're actually in Vietnam.
Yeah.
At the end, I went, he did it. He bloody did it, right? But, watching now or watching Die Hard, we've got terrorists, is almost the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Because they're movies that make you feel good, because you're like, I like seeing someone kick some ass. And I can cheer it on and I can make it go, and be all excited.
Yeah.
And that can change you from being really upset and aggressive feeling to being quite relaxed.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many elements, within a psychological study kind of way, regarding how, we all react to things differently at the end of the day. But unfortunately, I feel like it's very easy for, like these parent groups and stuff like that to go, oh, this TV show, this movie, this whatever is making these people more violent. With the whole Jamie Bolger thing, with the kids watching Child's Play 3. Have you watched Child's Play 3? It's so stupid. It's just like,
I remember watching that.
Seriously, who watches that and goes, you know what? I'm gonna steal a kid, kidnap a kid, lure a kid, and then go beat him to death. Seriously.
I remember watching Child's Play 3 and just think it was a funny comedy.
I know. I watched it after years. I was like, oh, this was controversial. This was, banned here because of the James Bolger case and that. Obviously, those kids were just messed up little shits. I don't think it would have mattered what movie they watched. I think anything could have easily triggered them.
Well, I think if you're psychotic, you're made to be psychotic. I don't think you're just... I don't think a film can tell you that. Well, I think it's through who you are and what you've gone through in your life. If my dad had beaten me up every day and my mum had fucking did stuff to me and all this, and I'd have been really, really treated, and I'd been forced to fucking beat up dogs or whatnot. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
would have probably I'd be probably raging psycho. Do you know what I mean? Because of the people around me, because of that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that's the case either. It can just
No.
be the fact that you're that way because of some weird problem with your brain. You know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how many of these serial killers do you get where they're like, oh, he was such a normal guy, you know, he went to church, you know, he had a loving parents and stuff like that, you know, he didn't do any of that. I don't, you know, they're off having these really weird fantasies where they want to strip off skin and stuff like that. It's like,
that's quite scary when you think about it.
but it's normally the most normal people, you know. It's probably, I mean, was it GTA or something got blamed for the Columbine massacre or something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
played it before.
I mean, films, games like GTA get blamed for that stuff all the time. I mean, GTA's banned, I think, in Australia.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what's the difference between that and the Getaway and stuff, other than it being better?
Yeah.
You know, what's the difference between that?
Manhunt was banned here, you know, or in America, wasn't it? It was banned for some time.
I think it's banned over there.
How do you play? I know Australia definitely banned it. How do you play it? And you're like, really? You know, much like, say, Child's Play 3, you're just like, what? Because I think people easily take stuff out of context. You can easily go, right, say, like, Until Dawn. If you take out one of those death trap things and show it to somebody and go, this is this game, they could blow up a whole story about how that's making people violent or something.
Yeah.
Because people take stuff out of context. You say GTA, you know, oh, you kill people, you run around, you know, it's like...
Well, Ashley just put a quote from Scream. Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like guns don't kill people, people kill people, you know.
As quoted by DMX in Romeo Must Die.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, he quotes that in Romeo Must Die. So you know that.
Very good.
Two quotes from two movies, pretty close to each other as well, eh? But I don't know. You know, my view is if you're going to kill someone, you're going to kill somebody because there's some off with it. You know, if I wanted to, I could go upstairs, I could kill my wife, and I could just kill myself, right?
Yeah.
Because how people do that, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I'm going to, because I'm not that type of person.
No. I mean, like I say, I've grown up with video games, I've grown up with horror movies and stuff. Well, not grown up with them, but, you know, when I was the age enough. But I am really into forensic science and stuff, you know. I mean, I've learned so much from stuff that I could probably, you know, like do it without getting found out kind of thing.
Oh.
But I wouldn't, because that's not who I am, if you know what I mean.
Watch it, everybody.
From a very... Yeah,
don't piss Tash
don't
off.
I'm from a very violent background, you know, but that doesn't make me violent, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. I think violence is a part of... I think violence is one of those things where you either are or you're not.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I'm not a violent person, not really.
No.
I mean, there's times I've had to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If people, you know,
there's times I've had to be.
Family or whatever.
But it doesn't mean I want to be. I get very upset afterwards because I don't want to be that way. You know?
It's the regret.
And I grew up on horror movies. I grew up on my mum telling me and reading me forensic stuff.
Yeah.
Reading me stories about serial killers and asking me why I thought they got caught and then telling me. You know, so it's interesting when you feel about it because it seems to me like sometimes the people that you'd think would be that way and only people that not.
Yeah.
You know, and it's that whole thing in it, judging the book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just because you've got a tattered cover doesn't mean that it's not beautiful underneath.
No.
You know, and non-violent.
Yeah. That's what happens when you look at me. I'm the most tattered covered.
Oh,
dear. I remember growing up and, you know, everybody would always say, you know, like when you get bullied, it's always like, they're bullies because they got bullied. So then I'm like, I always remember when I was younger, like shitting myself that, like, because then it puts it on you that at some point you're going to turn into a bully. And I'm like, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to treat people like that, you know, kind of thing. But it was always that thing that, bullies are bullies because they were bullied at some point. It's like, not necessarily. You know, some
Sometimes they're just bullies because they've got friends, and they think because they've got friends they can be horrible to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was bullied in school, and and I went around most of my school life scared shitless.
Yeah, exactly.
My early school life, anyway. And I hated it.
Until you grew taller and went.
Yeah, until I grew taller than that. Until I went from down here to up here and to just staring at people in angry ways, and they're like, "Okay, see ya." But and it just was horrible because people say, I mean, I got that same thing. They could bully you because they're bullies themselves, or they've been bullied and because they're weaker than you. And you're like, so because they're weaker than me, that makes it all right for them to have a go at me.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they'd go, don't you do anything to them.
No, yeah, exactly. It's like,
And you're like, hold on a minute. So they can bully me. They can do whatever the hell they want. Nobody's going to take my side, and I have to just stand there and take it.
Yeah.
And I've always hated that way of thinking. I don't agree that you should be violent with people. No. I never have done. But I think you should have to stand up. I think you should stand up for yourself.
You should be able to stand up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but it's not that easy, unfortunately. Especially,
of course not.
Us. We just don't want that confront. It's that fear of conflict, isn't it? It's like.
I think my problem is I've got such an intensity about me at times that I can get to that point where if somebody really, really started on me and really annoyed me, I'd just headbutt them and go, fuck off. Yeah. And I think that's something that I don't like about myself. So that's something I always try and I have a fear of doing.
Yeah.
I have that fear of being violent with people because the way I am. And I hate it. When I do get violent with people, I get really upset. I get really sad. I get really moody and I start getting teary-eyed because I'm like, shit, I've let something happen,
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's very scary for people like you and me because we do have that. We just don't. Yeah. We just don't want that to be there.
No, exactly. We have like that repressed anger and stuff like that we try and hold down, kind of thing. But
exactly. What's this? You guys, what's your guys' thoughts on the new Halloween movies? Will it be good or bad? Oh, did you hear about John Carpenter being a part of it?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, John Carpenter's going to be a part of the new Halloween because he wants to make it scarier than any of the other ones.
Oh dear.
But, my view of that, if you don't want me going first.
No, yeah.
My view of that is the fact that John Carpenter's an old age pensioner now. Yeah. And, Dario
like
Argento.
George Romero doing something, isn't it? Something.
It is. They're all icons, but they're icons of when they were younger.
Yeah.
To me, John Carpenter could make it be brilliant or he could make it even more shit. You know? The hype that people think it's going to be better could make it shit.
Yeah.
My view is for films like Halloween and Friday the 13th, they're past their sell by date.
Yeah.
They're things that should have stayed in the 80s and the 90s.
Well, especially because the sequels kind of dug the franchise into a hole, kind of thing.
I mean, especially the Halloween remakes. I mean, come on. People go on about how great they are, but they're the biggest pile of crap that anyone's ever seen, surely.
Yeah.
I saw the original remake in the cinema with my dad at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And I remember that night very clearly because the film was shit. Malcolm McDowell was shit. And there was a woman giving her boyfriend a blowjob right over there, right in my eye sign. And I was like, oh, what can that be, mate? To
be fair, nobody can beat Donald Pleasence. So.
Exactly. To me, Donald Pleasence made Dr. Loomis. When Malcolm McDowell took over Dr. Loomis in the remakes, he made that character awful. There was no care about the character. When you think about Donald Pleasence, Dr. Loomis, and Michael Myers, they had a father-son-like relationship. Michael never wanted to kill him. Michael never wanted to hurt him.
No.
I mean, Dr. Loomis tried to kill him so many times before he even tried to hurt him.
I know.
Right? And then in the remake, Dr. Loomis is like, I'm going to try and make money off this book, but I'm writing about Michael Myers being a right dick. And to me, that ruins the whole character.
Yeah, exactly.
The remake was awesome. No, it wasn't. The remake was shit. What's this stuff that I will take on Evil Dead and I will win. I can't wait to see that. The Fog remake was crap. I've never seen the Fog or the remake.
No, I haven't either.
I might have seen the remake and not remember it. You love the remake. You love the remake, Mel. Really? No, I don't.
I don't feel like Rob Zombie is a particularly a particularly good director anyway. So
Rob Zombie. It's Rob Zombie to me as the most stupidest name, and he's got the
yeah,
most stupidest movies as well. I mean, come on, Devil's Rejects is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I mean, please tell somebody, please name a decent, although Ashley will say Halloween straight away. Please, and that's not I think that's a criticism. I don't mean that. I just mean like he just said that Halloween is the best, so it's not like that assumption. But seriously, somebody tell me a thoughtful, excellent Rob Zombie movie. Seriously, do like we say about John Carpenter and all the classics?
Yeah.
Rob Zombie is like Uwe Boll. It's like you don't go, that is a legendary director. That's a crap director.
It's like Uwe Boll, except his movies are in the cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of his name.
Bigger budget. Yeah, exactly.
You know, in my view, ruined the Halloween movies. I mean, they're over the top violent, and I mean, come on, when Michael Myers' mum comes down on the unicorn, that should be.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you know what I mean? And the fact that in the original, he picks up the mask, but in the remake, his girlfriend's boyfriend is having sex with her with the mask on.
I know.
And it's just like, none of this makes sense. And
I hated that as well, that they were trying to give Michael this reason for, this reason for becoming who he is. It's like, he's just an evil little shit. Why don't you just deal with that?
The thing that annoyed me was when they did the history of Michael Myers as a boy, that took away the whole mystery of the character.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know, you don't need any backstory for Michael Myers. You've got it for Jason Voorhees, and even that was disturbing, but not the way he was. I mean, they made him just an evil boy.
Yeah.
And my best part in the Halloween remake is Michael loves masks, and you're like, so why does he just wear one mask then throughout the whole movie franchise?
Yeah.
You know, what's this? Halloween 2. I love the backstop.
I mean, but getting back to the original question, like saying about, like about the remakes and stuff, like with John Carpenter. The thing is, for me, is exactly like you say, and I think it became more aware. I hate to admit this, but somebody was saying during the new X-Files, they compared Chris Carter to George Lucas, in that they were saying that they make this franchise, they go away for a good number of years, they come back, and they're still living in this bubble of where things were at, kind of thing. But of course, modern times require them to modify it, kind of, modernize it, sorry. And I feel like, yes, John Carpenter, George A. Romero, Ridley Scott, I mean, especially like James Cameron and Ridley Scott, they still live in their little, bubbles of like where they were at in the 80s, say. Yeah. Yes, they were all amazing actors, directors and writers and stuff for their time, because they were setting in stone what we now see as classic, normal, they revolutionized the genre kind of thing. Whereas now we've gotten to a point where what new can they do? They're essentially going to revive, do the same old shtick, because that, unless they've gone back to like learning how to direct in a modern world, like do modern movies, all they're going to know is how to do what they did that, revolutionized the genre. So I feel like it'll either be stuck, that he'll be desperately trying to make it new, but feeling like the same old, But then where's the like? Because some people want to see the same old, don't they? And some people want to see new stuff. So it's difficult to strike that balance.
Well, see, I think the problem is people are too stuck too far in the past.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I tell people, when you watch a B-grade action or a horror movie now, people don't like them as much because they don't see them like they did in the 80s. The 80s had so many shit movies, but we liked them because that was the 80s.
Yeah.
Now that we've got HD and we've got all this beautiful camera work, it takes away from a lot of it. You know, like the Puppet Master franchise is a good example. In the 80s, it was great, and you saw them move and everything. Now, when they come out, they're really crap puppets. They're nowhere like they were back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And there's no believability to it. And the movies suck.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, they had stop motion, which worked better.
Yeah, exactly. It was all practical.
You know? Yeah. You know, another one is Chucky. You know, Chucky back in the 80s was silly as hell.
Yeah.
But it made more sense than it does now.
Well, look how many, you know, like the you know, the slasher movies and stuff like that. All those my mind has gone blank tonight. Hello, Shadow. You know, all those kind of movie the video nasties and that, you know, they were seen as such shit and that, and yet they've essentially become cult classics because people look back at them and are like, actually, this is a lot better. You know, it deserved more attention because at the time, I think, like I say, I mean, I've said this numerous times, you know, unfortunately, nostalgia only gets you so far. I mean, my God, John Carpenter is an amazing director for his time because, like I say, he used techniques and that were not, I mean, this is why when The Thing got remade, it just was not as good because it was a classic, you know, and didn't need to be remade kind of thing.
Well, a big example of a great director of his time was Dario Argento.
Yeah.
He made things happen in Gallios that never ever happened before.
Yeah.
And now he's one of the worst directors I think I've ever watched. You know, of now.
Yeah.
Not of then, but of now. Whenever I watch his films now, I'm like, what has happened to this man?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem with people when Ashley says Ridley Scott is still doing great work.
Oh, come on. Prometheus sucked balls. Actually, to be fair, Ridley Scott's, I mean, he does some good stuff. Unfortunately, he does have bad stuff because I feel like he does try and ride sometimes on that nostalgia plane, you know, like doing Prometheus and stuff. I mean, he's just, I mean, I just don't feel like he's doing anything new kind of thing. In the same way that you say with Argento kind of thing.
I feel like a lot of the big directors now don't. I feel like they're stuck in their formula, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, they'll die by it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
who goes now? Oh, I'd love to see a new movie from Tobe Hooper, you know, kind of thing. It's not, you know,
no one. I don't think anyone does.
No, exactly. I mean, look how long. When James Cameron finally came out with Avatar, everybody was like, "Oh, James Cameron's back with a new movie, this, that, and the other." And yet, yes, visually it was beautiful, but story-wise, it was the most overdone story ever, you know, kind of thing.
But they did get commissioned for 3 more movies.
I know, is it? Well, yeah, that's true. But
which the second one hasn't even come out yet.
But it's very easy. I think the thing is directors' names. I mean, the same's happened in a way with Steven Spielberg. Yes, he still does good stuff, but he's more like moved into like executive producing TV more, hasn't he? Kind of thing. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's the name, isn't it? People go John Carpenter and immediately like, oh, it's going to be the classic Halloween. It's like, yeah, but we're at a time now where, isn't it sad that people are looking forward to The Conjuring 2? It's just like, you know, we're in that state of horror movies at the moment. Yeah, exactly.
Or Annabelle 2. Or
oh yeah.
You know, the problem is people want too many franchises. They don't want unique horror movies. They want franchises. No. And I think if we went more with the unique horror, we'd have a lot better movies. You know, you think about it, I could come up with an idea like Paranormal Activity. I'll come up with that, make loads of money from that, make 7 more. Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're good movies. It just means people are stupid enough to watch them.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think Hollywood has proven that it's got no original ideas left, you know, unique ideas left. The fact that so many classic movies are being remade.
I mean, I watched I watched the first, I think it was 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
No, 2, 3, and Mark ones of Paranormal Activity. And for the first hour or so, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then the last 20 minutes, it was like, and all this. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Man,
Well, those kind of things as well, much like games have started to do, they focus too much on the jump scares, and I don't like that.
That's what I don't like about Until Dawn.
Yeah.
I feel like
But it's so predictable most of the time.
exactly, and that's what I don't like. I don't like the predictableness of it. That's what I liked about Evil Within when I actually played it properly. I liked how there was more to it than that, and it was the story which you don't understand at the end what happened. All you know is that Sebastian smashed in someone's brain, whether it was Rubik's or not. It's another question.
Yeah, exactly. And bloody Julie, what's her face is running around doing God knows what, working for the company.
That's the new game. You need to get the Akuma trophy for me on. You can do it for me on Evil Within.
Oh.
Imagine that. If you got me that on Evil Within, you'd be like, why didn't I just do it myself?
Yeah, I know, right?
But no, in all seriousness, I do get annoyed with it. I do think it's bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
And it does irritate the fuck out of me.
Don't mind me, Shadow. Yeah.
Moon shadow. I've been dreaming of a moon shadow. Oh.
She's like, well, screw you then.
I said we should turn around when I said that.
Yeah, I know. She can't hear you. I got the headphone, you know.
Oh, that's true. The Conjuring was pretty good, not Shaun the sequel. The Conjuring was utter garbage. And I'm saying that because it's true.
I was watching a video of the most anticipated releases of June, and they said The Conjuring 2. I was just like, really? That's kind of a sad state of where we're at.
What we got to remember is I did buy that in the Insidious movies because James recommended it.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot for taking a recommendation from James. I mean, my God.
Hey, Slashers was pretty good.
Well, yeah, but
see, everybody says that, but everything else he recommends is awful.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying is, I've got a feeling I put Insidious on, and after about 20 minutes, I turned it off, and it's garbage.
Yeah.
You know,
I still haven't seen Insidious. I got it in the pack with what's it? I got it in. It was an extra disc in with something else. Shit.
The Joy of Sex. Kama Sutra.
No, it was that one with Ethan Hawking.
Sinister.
That's the one. Yeah, it came in with that. I actually liked Sinister. It was stupid as all hell, but I actually liked it.
Never watched it.
A bit disturbing.
Never watched it.
Mind you, I'm not really one for snuff movies. I think that just creeped me out.
Is that what it was? Was it a snuff movie?
No, it wasn't a snuff movie, but it had like the idea was that he was watching this video that turned out to be a snuff movie kind of thing, and it kind of weirded me out.
Have you ever seen Videodrome?
No.
You should watch it. It's a very weird film.
Really?
Very weird.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a snuff movie kind of thing. But without the snuff in it. You know, it's very strange.
I have no desire to see a snuff movie.
A guy gets a tape lost in his stomach and then pulls it out and stuff.
Oh, nice.
It's got James Woods in it.
Oh, really? I like James Woods.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in anything recently.
Last time I saw him was Shark, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
You know that law drama?
Yeah, I remember that.
Sinister was great.
Mm.
The Glory Days of Horror is pretty dead at the moment.
Yeah.
And he meant he liked the backstory of Halloween.
Okay.
Not Backstrong.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you were like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what's Backstrong? You know? Let's have a look. Whoa. Oh, it's a shame John couldn't get in.
Yeah, no. I don't get that at all.
Oh, let's see if he commented on the page. So he might have commented on the main page.
Yeah, I keep checking, but I've not seen anything.
Oh, okay. That's a shame. You know what I'm getting tired of? All these Know the North videos popping up. What is up? Ever since Uncharted 4 has ended, all I ever see is Know the North videos everywhere.
What, on like YouTube or something?
Stephen Dickinson has commented.
Oh.
Fuck off.
Okay then, bye.
That is brilliant. He commented on the thing, F off. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, I love the intelligence of YouTube commenters, seriously.
You know what? I've no idea why, but he commented that, so that was funny. Like, what did we do to him?
Oh, just like, okay then.
Videodrome is good. James Woods was good in it. It was. I did like Videodrome. Did you know it came out from Arrow over there and sold out within a day?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got the Criterion release.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, sold out within a day. And it had a beautiful book and it had a couple of other movies in with it, I think.
Yeah.
Beautiful set, but I won't pay 100 quid for it.
No.
You know, it was like 50 odd quid. I've got the Killer Dames box set coming as well in the post.
The what?
Killer Dames.
Killer Dames.
Do you want to see the artwork?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Gothic Galio set.
All right.
And Cat in a
You
Brain.
want to see this T-shirt I'm considering getting?
Sure. While I'm looking this up, you can show if you want.
I'm kind of tempted. It's been on my like window for a little while, but I thought this was pretty cool. Nice Metal Gear T-shirt.
Metal Gear. Let me have a look. Oh, you definitely should get that.
But I quite like that.
That is really good.
I was like, nice.
That was pretty good, actually.
So I'm tempted to get that.
You should. Definitely. You see
I wanted to get like a decent Uncharted T-shirt, but there's no real decent designs out there. So,
Oh, there's some on eBay, but they're. Oh, that's it. Okay, I'll show you.
Oh, I found the page where they had like new designs, especially for Uncharted 4, and I was just like, there was nothing worth getting, if you know what I mean. So,
let me share mine.
Yeah, go on. Oh wow!
This is this is a Gothic Galio set.
This should just get shoved up the arse.
But it just came out, so I was literally going to buy them from No Shame.
Yeah.
But that went out of print, and they had these ones from Arrow. They're regional, so I thought, well, I'll get them just take England with me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, well, that's good if it's regional, because like you say, you can just.
Exactly. I don't think I would have bought it otherwise.
Is there red all right? She's got waves of pulsing.
Oh, that's very clever. She's naked, though, practically.
She like a phantom in Defenders of the Earth or something.
She's got some weird-looking facial features as well. All the women in it look shocked. But anyway, yeah. I've got that coming in the post.
Ah, so okay.
I'm looking forward to getting that and watching that. And I got this from World Go USA to review.
Yay! Oh, is that what you're gonna? Yeah. What, to go with all the other ones that you're totally gonna review at some point?
Yeah. Yeah, put them on a pile.
Kill your friends. They haven't learnt their lesson yet.
Kill your friends. So I thought, yeah, okay. I thought I'll do that.
What, kill your friends?
Yeah, why not? It comes out June the 7th, so I'm going to watch it. And
okay. I'm just glad at the moment that my Uncharted video has stayed up, touch wood, because I was so gutted when my Ratchet and Clank one got blocked straight away. So, because like you say, it takes so much work. It's just like, what is the point if then it's not going to get viewed?
Well, I'm definitely going to watch it later and enjoy it, and I'll definitely put a comment up.
Yeah, that's been nice because I've had some comments on my X-Files game review recently. So
I'm going to put on a cool video.
Yeah. Great video, mate.
Because I know you love them.
Oh, I just seriously, it's more just that it's that fucking disrespect. It's like,
yeah,
and also it's when they show no interest in actually anything you've talked about. It's nice when, say, like the final part of the X-Files game review. You know, there was actually people who watched to the end to then go, oh, please do a resist or serve, do a resist or serve review. I was like, wow, they actually watched to the end, even though that was a little bit at the end kind of thing. So
that reminds me, actually, I need to watch all of that.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to. I will do.
I just got some new person who started watching them, and like for each part they were like, it was so funny because I'm like reading the comments, and next thing I know they're on like part 9 or something and I'm making a comment, and they're like, it's always
crazy.
Interesting when people watch stuff, especially like those ones that were like so weird for me to look back on, because obviously when you click on the comment it brings up the video, doesn't it? And you're then like, oh, it's so weird for me to look back up, because like I was slimmer and stuff, and the bad video quality, the 4:3 ratio and stuff like that. It's so weird to look back on those videos. It's like,
hey, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's very strange.
Yeah, well, it's like watching back some of your old videos. That you.
I really do, to be honest. I really do.
Or like the chats kind of thing.
I watch the chats back sometimes, and I watch things, but I rarely watch my videos.
Yeah.
Because I annoy myself in them.
Yeah. Oh no, I've said to you before, I don't really like watching myself back kind of thing. It's bad enough having to watch it when you're editing it,
Nice t-shirt, you should get it. Did you get my YouTube message, Tash? The one where I sent you naked pictures of myself. He didn't put that, but he just put, did you get his YouTube message?
I did. I don't want to comment on it here. I'll at some point reply.
With pictures of myself. I've always send me a message, right? Like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. And then me just send a picture of me going like this. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That'd be brilliant. Right?
That'd be excellent. Can you imagine?
I've given you an idea now, haven't I?
You have given me an idea now.
But no, I just... I don't like looking at myself
so
back.
You can't send pictures via YouTube message.
That's true, actually. I didn't think about that. It's a shame. It's a shame. You'd think they'd make it better, wouldn't you? You'd think they'd make it like Facebook.
Mm.
But, oh well. I don't like watching myself back. Not because I don't want to, but just because I just think,
Yeah.
I know in like 40 years, if I've still got videos of myself, I'm going to look at them and go, oh.
Yeah.
And go, you were so weird back then. 10 years ago, I'll look back and go, wow, I'm not even that person anymore.
No, yeah. Like I say, even for me watching back the reviews, and it's like 6 years ago, it's like, that's not me. I mean, it is me, and obviously that's still a good chunk of who I am. But like you say, it's weird when you think how different you are now, kind of thing.
It's strange. It's very strange. It's such a weird thing to look back on yourself, especially on film.
Yeah.
I was just thinking earlier today when I was sitting in the living room, I was thinking about 8 years ago at the local community centre. They had a summer event where you did summer in the summer. You did things in the community centre.
Yeah.
Like on the summer holidays.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And there was a video of my mum had where it'd been recorded, and you see me in the background, topless, with just these long joggers on, with long black hair. Right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
And that did get me thinking about this. But it made me think, I wish I could see that video now.
Right, yeah.
Just so I could look at myself and just think, wow, that's somebody completely different now.
Yeah.
Same as when she had a wedding video. There's a video of her wedding somewhere and me dancing for like 5 hours on the dance floor.
Really?
Yeah. And getting 5 women's numbers. Okay. I remember that night very well because I got home and my nan went to me, well, you got a lot of numbers. I went, yeah, so what are we going to do with it? I just whipped them up from in the bin. And she said, why did you do that? I went, because they don't like me for me. They like me because I'm a little bit tipsy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be in that situation.
No, yeah.
Your rants on Nerd Blocks were classic.
I clicked on a video log recently, an old one, and like I said, I wasn't watching it. I just wanted to quickly see what was going on in it, because like I say, I want to do video logs again. And it was so fun. I was just looking back to see what I'd done, kind of thing, and it was so funny. This one part, it was me just going on about bloody, I'm up to the point now. I'm up to the final boss battle in Resident Evil 5. And I'm like, oh my god. And that was actually when I'd stopped playing it, because I'd already, like I say, when I played it with somebody else on their copy, I had seen the final boss battle. So when I was struggling against Wesker in that battle, I gave up. And I'm like, but I've played the end bit and I haven't completed it on my copy, but I think I've done enough to comment on it. And I'm going on about bloody Shiver and the bloody inventory system. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was so weird to think I wasn't a big fan of the game then, but I had a lot more respect for it than I did when we played it through again. I think I've got really cynical with age. I know that much.
Oh, that's not good.
That's kind of depressing in a way.
I get more paranoid with age.
Really, yeah.
You know, get more what do you call it, about people and about things, and you know, I think with age I've got to the point where I'm like, people just don't seem to care that much. You know,
I think that's why I've got cynical. There's only so many times you can get stabbed in the back or treated like shit by people before you go.
Exactly. And I feel like we get the same treatment from games.
Yeah,
we get excited by them, and then we get stabbed in the back from them because they're not like how we expect them to be. I mean, look at the Division and look at Watch Dogs.
Oh God!
You know,
Rainbow
two
Six
games,
Siege, you know?
games that were shown great in E3, and then they turned out to be utter shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I saw the other day? I saw people going to Comic Con.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, apparently in England, they had a Comic Con like 2 days ago.
Oh, MCM Expo, I think it was. London.
What's the difference?
MCM Expo is the most awful experience I've ever had at convention going. It's very company driven. You know, they have a lot of the big sponsor kind of. They do have game like demos there and stuff. Like when I went to it, they had. Oh, it was so funny. They had. I did do a video log of it when we went. But they had. What was it? Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
And Assassin's Creed, I think it was. Yeah, it was like Assassin's Creed. Shit, which one was it? Not Black Flag. The one before. I think it was Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
So long ago. It's weird because there's been so many of them in a short time. It's trying to remember, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, so they had those, and I hadn't played Far Cry, so I wasn't interested in that. But I played the Assassin's Creed, so I got them to let me jump the line near the end of the day, so I could go have a test on the Assassin's Creed game. And because this is when, like, not in the early days of my channel, but because I wanted to do more game-related stuff, and you know, you see people doing these interviews, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I got some facts about the game, you know, that I could then report back, you know, on a video log kind of thing. So I go in. I'm the only one, because it turned out this big queue was only interested in Far Cry 3. I go in. I'm the only one there playing Assassin's Creed, and there's this, like, I don't know, French guy or whatever there, you know, like from Ubisoft kind of thing. So I was like, so what era is this set in? Because I wanted to know if it had to do with Ezio or, you know, this, that, and the other. I'm like, is it part of the same? Actually, it might have been Revelation, Brotherhood or something, to be honest. I'll have to go back. But anyway, I was like, so what era is it? The same character? You're in the same timeline? And he's like, just play. And I'm like, well, thank you, dude. Just like, I'm like starting in this, like, because you're sat in this like little rowboat that pulls up at this like big wall that you then jump up on and stuff. And I'm like, well, it would be nice to know if I'm playing with a character that has been, you know, like in the previous game or not. And he's just like, I would have loved to have gotten like some kind of info, like to report back, and I couldn't even get that. I'm like,
No.
and that really upset me because it would have been. I think if I'd had that I mean, obviously I didn't have that confidence to like question him properly, but I was just trying a little bit, and I was like, that would have been cool if I'd gotten some kind of thing going where I could properly report it back, because I think it would have done a lot for me, like for going back to like Expo and questioning for games and stuff. But yeah, but it's a lot more business driven, and you don't have as many guests there as say as the Showmasters one. But that, and I had set fall down on me. A wall fall down. Yeah, I was in a photo shoot queue, and they had like these dividing wall things, and they weren't very good ones, and it fell off its bracket and landed on top of me, and nobody came to help or anything.
Oh.
So I complained, and also they had really shit service for disabled people. It was awful. They were like, there was one person who I actually knew from the Showmasters and like the weekend Stargate events. She's in a wheelchair, and she said, "Oh, you get this disabled pass." So she said, "Oh, I'm not using mine anymore. You can have it." So I took it off her. She very kindly gave it, and then I went up to a queue to go, "Look, I'm disabled. I need help with the queue." And they were like, "Oh, we don't know what that does. Let me call over the manager." So then I'm stood there waiting for them to call over a manager on their walkie-talkie. I'm like, this has kind of defied the point. So I complained, and they're like, "Oh, well, we got to sort it out. You're causing more trouble by arguing." I'm like, oh.
Well,
so I always said after that experience, I would not go to another MCM Expo.
Nothing beats. I mean, I had a problem the other day. Well, you remember I went to get the car before we went out to eat. We went in Walgreens, and I went, I'll pick up House of Wax. I'll pick up this other supposedly Filmman's Vacancy 2, because I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind watching them again.
Yeah.
Well, House of Wax, I wouldn't mind watching again. It's not the best film, but I was like, yeah, I'll buy it and watch it again.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the queue, and I'm like, this one hasn't got a label on it. It hasn't got a price on it.
Yeah.
Right? But the other two are $1.99.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I don't think I can sell it to you because I ain't got a price on it, so it's not in the system. I said, it reminded me of Dave Williams. She goes, computer says no.
Oh, yeah, computer.
And I said, well, I think it's $1.99 because it was in the bin. And obviously you're selling it if it's in there.
Yeah. And
then he goes, I've got to call the manager.
Oh.
Right, the manager comes over. Turns out the other queue as well is waiting for the manager. She's like, bah. In her mind. You could tell she was like, really? And she says to the bloke, how much are the others? He goes to $1.99. She goes, why didn't you just do it for $1.99 then? He goes, do you want me to do that? Then he went, yeah. And she went, yeah. And I was like,
oh God. But yeah, that's why I've stuck with Showmasters, because I know the crew there, and I know how they're a lot better dealing with disabled people and stuff. So I know there are lots of conventions held across the country, but financially it's not an option, and I'd rather just go with what I know works, kind of thing. So that's why I haven't been back to Expo. But that's ridiculous with the whole service thing.
I've never been to it, and I don't know if I will.
No.
I know when me and Donna move back, I'm going to go to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Just for the day out.
Yeah, just for the day out. Exactly.
So it was the Expo was. I think it was. Is it the Olympia, or is it the other one?
No, it's at the Excel.
Because I always get those buildings mixed up.
Yeah. Oh, and Olympia, I get muddled up.
Because it's right next to the train station.
Yeah. It's Olympia is. I don't think there was. I don't know if there was a Comic-Con. I don't think there was one in London. I could be wrong.
Because people were in London with it.
It may. I don't. What is happening? It must have been MCM Expo, because these ones aren't anytime like. So anyway, I get muddled up with the different places. Sorry, it's like I say, there's different companies that do events, so it's easy to lose track of.
Ashley asked, what's your guys' thoughts on the Assassin's Creed trailer?
How stupid is it that they're going for the whole jumping into the bale of hay off the building? It's like, for goodness sakes. Okay, it's one thing in games, but now we're encouraging children to jump off buildings into bales. I know it's that iconic scene, and I guess, I mean, it might not even be in the movie. It might just be, you know, a purpose for making that connection to the games for the gamers and stuff. It just feels really silly.
I think the whole thing looks shit.
Yeah. I'm not particularly impressed.
I'm not impressed.
What do you think of Warcraft trailers?
I think that looks awful, no?
Really?
Yeah, I've never been interested in that, really. And the way I look at it, it just looks silly. I mean, it looks like, to me...
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest with you, I don't think we need another Lord of the Rings.
No, exactly.
You know, that's my problem with it.
No, I completely agree. It's just, I'm to be honest, I've gotten to this point now where I'm just like, look, movies based on video games should not exist. Let's move on, you know.
Well, I think some should, but I think they should be animated.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you mean like the Final Fantasy, like Advent Children one?
Yeah, because I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
You know, make an animated Lara
Croft. Because that's what we're used to, kind of thing. Oh, are they?
Did you hear about the God of War porno? It's called God of Hardcore.
Well, you know, there is that rule that, you know, there is always a porno version of everything, so...
It's somewhere. I never get the one about Freddy Krueger where he's got vibrators on his fingers.
Oh, you know, there's a porno version of our chat out there somewhere. You just know it.
That would be interesting to say. That would be brilliant. Hey, I wonder what would happen in it. It might be me with all these different women with a hunky version of myself.
Probably have Donna there watching, you know.
Oh, that would be creepy. Can you imagine if I was the dogs, I made porno of the chat and we watched it and she was like...
No, I mean, like, in the movie, you know, there's with you with all these women and you've probably got, you know, your Donna there and
that would be funny. That would be funny. I just can't believe it's 3:30.
I know. I just saw the time. Actually, you know what's even more shocking? Because I literally looked at the time. I thought like 5 minutes ago, and it was like 11:10 my time. And I'm like, and now I'm like, wait, what? 20 minutes have gone in that time that I thought.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It goes so quickly.
It's been a good chat today.
Ashley's been here to help feed questions, so
yeah, it's been great. Ashley's been great today in the comment section. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. It's a shame John wasn't able to make it, or Alex, or that. So
yeah, I don't know what's going on with Alex. I hope I get to talk to him and find out what's going on with him. You know.
Yeah, I don't know why Don didn't make it because.
It's because yeah. What was she going to watch today?
I have no clue. So she might check it out. I don't know. Maybe she's just having problems commenting or that. I don't know. But
Donna, if you watch this, I'm sending you a message to reply in the comment section.
Saying Malcolm, come back in time.
Saying Malcolm is the most sexiest man in the world. If you hear this, put it down below and then we will know you watched. If not, you're full of utter bullshit.
But yeah, no, at least we've had Ashley. Cause, I mean, we've had a good chat anyway and brought up some good stuff, but it's nice to have people to feed into, you know.
Obviously, very nice. It was very nice. It just shows that some people can bring great subjects up in the chat.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
But it's been a great chat today, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we should think about saying our boys.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's been a great one. Thank you again, Ashley, for being here and making good comments and stuff. Really appreciate it. And I think, as always, we should have a script for this end bit, shouldn't we? Because it's pretty much...
We should put it on the computer screen and just go, yeah, so where am I? I'm down there, and right now. That's all right. Oh, I've added this little bit on today, and
Well, thank you so much, Malcolm, for having me as your partner in crime, and being a great friend and everything. And please, guys, subscribe to his awesome channel. He's working on stuff at the moment, and his awesome videos are always fun to watch. So please watch them and comment and share your thoughts on them and stuff. And if you watch this chat afterwards, as always, please ask us questions, and that please bear in mind Malcolm's the only one who sees the comments, so I don't get notified about them. So if you have a comment for me, either please comment like over on my little channel, and check it out while you're there, or just ask Malcolm to pass on the message, please. And look forward to, I can't believe it's only 67. I know we've had a few weeks off here and there, so
we've technically had about 10 weeks off altogether.
Yeah,
so it
that's
would
not
be
too bad considering
it would have been 77 otherwise.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
No, exactly.
No, not too bad at all.
But yeah, no. So I look forward to next week. And like I say, please check out our channels if you get the chance, and look forward to even the person who told us to fuck off. I look forward to seeing what people say next week. So.
Me too. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you, Ashley, for tuning in and doing some great comments. Thank you for being here. Thanks to everybody who watches after the fact. Sorry, so if John, if you're watching right now, John, so you couldn't make it into the chat. Hope you enjoyed the chat. Please let us know if you can. If you did watch it and you weren't able to comment. And as always, thanks to Tash for being here and being my partner in crime and being a great co-host and being awesome.
And trophy collector.
And trophy collector, who's going to get a lot more trophies from me by mentioning it. So it's Wednesday. Fallout Football we come. She thinks I'm joking, but I'm not. And and so as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a lovely week, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, same
people.
There we go. But bye for now, guys.
Take care.